It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. Thank you so much for dialing us in. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pleasure producing us for the next 3 hours of fun in the sun. All right, man, a Thursday afternoon the sports world continues to offer. Chris Sims continues to throw out unlikelihoods.
Almost like a lot of his passes.
No kidding,
Little
man.
Off target.
The news of the day, the Dak Prescott contract. We're going to get into that. We got a lot to talk about today. We're excited. At 4:30, we're going to be joined by Burl Yarborough. Now, Jason, Burl, you know, he's well known around San Antonio. He is our baseball guy. Whatever baseball has been in San Antonio for as long as I can remember, Burl Yarborough has been a part of it. And as the missions are shut down right now, it's a tough time in the minors.
You know, a tougher time than I think people realize, including us who work in the sports business, about how little help, in fact, no help they get from the major league clubs. I always thought there was much more of a working relationship. Mm-hmm. And other than the players, there's no financial help coming from those major league teams. And minor league teams don't get any TV revenue. You think about 95 to 98% of the money that a minor league team makes, that comes from paid tickets. And, you know, when there's no season, not only this year, but years to come, and then even the bigger problem, say if you're one of their big sponsors and you've already wrote your check for this year, and you roll it over the next year, well, then next year, that's more lost revenue. I mean, the domino effect of this season, whatever it turns out to be, might be 3, 4, 5 years. And quite frankly, and Sports Illustrated has an incredible in-depth article on the effects of the pandemic on minor league baseball. There's a lot of teams that quite frankly won't make it.
You know, Jason, this is on the heels of just the contraction of the minor leagues by Major League Baseball. The idea that there were just too many teams out there for them to adequately fund and abide by a lot of the federal pay acts that are involved for minor league baseball players. There just is not enough money in too many teams, and you throw the COVID virus in. It is a tough going for all the minor league teams. And San Antonio had its own issues even before that began, as the missions were trying to find a stadium and all the things that go along with AAA baseball. We're excited to have Burl on. It's going to be interesting to hear what he has to say and his prognosis for the future. We'll look into the NBA. Another story comes out from The Last Dance. The big dog, Antoine Carr. Good dude, man. I've always enjoyed Antoine. Spoke up regarding what the Bulls did to the Jazz during that fateful 7-game series back in 1998. We'll hit there. Aldon Smith, we hear from him after his reinstatement from the NFL. Well, I'll just leave it at that. We all have our thoughts on regarding guys coming back, but you'll hear from him directly as he offered his well, he's glad to be back. He's proud of what he's done. John McClain, of course, on Thursday afternoons is our part and parcel, and he'll be here at 5:15. Lots to talk about with the Texans. 2 new coordinators, never having been in those positions before, taking over play calling jobs over the week. We heard from them, and we'll hear what John McClain thinks of them all. I'll tell you, Jason, as we were doing our show prep today, I can't focus on anything but the higher end stuff. I'm lost in a story that I heard yesterday that I can't quite get out of my inadequate brain. This is the headline: NASA scientists detect evidence of parallel universe where time runs backwards. Is that enough just to blow your mind?
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, you're dumbfounded. I can tell. You're just like me.
Well,
shocked, astounded.
I'm astounded by 2 things. Okay, time goes backwards. How does that really work? We're all born old, and then you work your way to death at birth. I mean, you know. The other part is, how do you allow yourself to get caught up in that?
That headline.
How do you not?
You read that headline, you're like, all those Star Treks and all those Robert Heinlein books that I read back when I was a kid. I'm like, oh my God, that stuff's real? This could be real?
Well, it could be. I mean,
It gets weirder. This is all about a NASA Antarctic impulsive transient antenna. I'll say that again. The NASA Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, otherwise known as ANITA, It's got a name.
Of course.
High
it's got
above
a name.
Antarctica
And her
was
name is Anita.
Anita was hung on this weather balloon that they were floating up in Antarctica. And they had decided what they were going to do is the premise was there's this constant wind of energy that is blowing. See, this is going to blow your mind. That is blowing through the universe. And our physicists, I think Jodie Foster was one of them, had floated up this air balloon, this hot air balloon, and they were looking for stuff, and they got this random bit of noise. And I thought, that's just space noise. And they went back and they did it again. They got space noise and said, well, there's some symmetry to it. So they went and looked at it. And what they found, this is crazy because I can't even understand it after reading it 1,000 times, is this solar wind, these low energy subatomic neutrinos, as those in the business like myself like to call them, were blowing into the earth going one direction. Well, that random bit of noise that Anita, she's Al's cousin or Hal's cousin, for those of you who've been Space Odyssey and types, was registering this noise, and they realized what they were picking up was those neutrons behaving in a way that physics will not allow. The neutrons were going the reverse direction from the Earth the other way. It's like a particle blowing into a wind and cutting through it and going the wrong direction. And the only answer they could find and come up with is that there is a parallel universe, a wobbly parallel universe right next to us, where everything there is white and here it's black. If it's left there, it's right here. If it's up there, it's down here. It is the total opposite. And this could be real.
But were they listening to Anita Baker on the Anita?
You don't get the symbology here. Anita, remember, if you watch 2001: A Space Odyssey, Hal was the computer that took it over. Anita's talking to the aliens. We're going to get a portal. We're going to have a doorway to go the other direction.
Or for them to come here.
No. See, there's where we got to look. The glass is half full. Our physics glass is half full.
If a door opens one way, you can walk through it both ways.
All right, Pledge. I mean, I know you guys are on the same wavelength when it comes to this stuff, and it freaks you out. I think I would rather deal with. Whatever, man. I would much rather have those people get over here than go over to the Thompson compound right now with all the critters you've got crawling around. I would much rather deal with them types than what you've got going on at the house with
Hey, doesn't everybody fight off a centipede that's 8 inches long and a tarantula that's the size of your hand in the same day in the same place, 6 hours apart? That doesn't happen to anybody else?
No, I'd burn the house down and move. And you throw a snake in there, and you know that you got plenty of snakes.
I got snakes.
No, but you got a tarantula that size hanging out at your house and a centipede in the garage. I got to go.
It wasn't in the garage. It was on the patio. I was trying to get under. We have like these French doors, and the centipedes are real flat. And I appreciate the way you changed the subject from the aliens and the parallel universe. That did go noted. That was duly noted.
He's not scared enough, Rob.
Professional.
I don't think you quite comprehend the conversation that we were having previously about the parallel universe with time going backwards. But we'll touch upon that later and go back to the trivial stuff.
We'll do that in the
my
9
house
o'clock
being
hour.
attacked. My house being attacked by large insects and arachnoids. No, so we had this first time I've ever seen one, a centipede. And I wish I took a picture, but it didn't really get good scale. I had a broom that I was fighting it off with in a chair, but it was about 8 inches long, and they're flat. They're real flat, and they're black with yellow arms, and they're running around. And both the head and the tail look the same. It's very strange. But anyway,
because they could go forward or backwards in time.
Well, see. You're about to fall down a rabbit hole with me. If you come on down, there's a lot of room for us. Come with me. But
nope.
The problem with what happened was I was wearing a type of tennis shoe, an Adidas, that has a very specific sole that's very soft. And I was trying to step on the millipede, and my shoe wouldn't kill it. I'm stomping on it, and the millipede just keeps running. And then it turned and decided it was going to fight back.
So this millipede is going to fight back. What are you, 6'3", 6'4"?
Well, what's the difference? First of all, is it a millipede or a centipede? Because I think it's a centipede. A millipede looks like a really long roly-poly with 1,000,000 legs, and a centipede only has 100 legs.
I just want to know,
is it dead?
Is it dead?
It's dead. Okay. Now, the tarantula that was hanging upside down on my porch, she or he is not. I left that one be because it'll kill the onslaught of millipedes. They're, it's like Godzilla and Megalon. They're natural enemies. They would fight. So I left one out to protect my house.
I don't know what's going on with the pest control world, but I mean, you've got and you don't want to kill your tarantula. You want to feed that thing and grow it bigger, right? Yeah, I mean,
I wanted to eat the snakes and the aliens.
Yeah, well, and it's one and the same. I've got wasps I can't get rid of. And this guy named Nate Leonard, his coach now, used to be a good high school football player here and at UTSA. He tweeted out a little while ago, found a beetle. His pest control guy said, found a beetle on your back door. Largest bug I've ever seen in person. The size of a hot pocket. I decapitated it. It may still be moving, but I assure you it's dead. Well,
sounds
first off, pest control guy, why are you leaving it? Take it with you. And if it's still moving, how can you assure me that it's dead? Yeah, shouldn't the pest control guy want to put that one on the wall? Like, hey, boss, look
Something
at this.
Like that, yeah.
Where's my
put
bonus?
That on the wall.
Yeah.
We'll take care of all things up to and including this.
Can you imagine if you saw a beetle the size of a hot pocket rolling up your back door?
Dude, right now? No, it wouldn't shock me a bit. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to have it knocking on the door. It had gotten an invitation. Keep in mind, it's only been about a week that I finally killed off all the roly-polies. There's something going on up here. This is like an episode or a chapter out of a Stephen King novel. I'm being attacked by all these little beetles and insects.
Yeah, no, I don't know what's going to happen next. I would call a pest control guy. Maybe a new one.
What would I talk about? I wouldn't have anything to do.
You could talk about the backwards in time cross-dimensional.
I'm going to continue my research on this. Now, I will tell you this. If tomorrow I come on and this gray is gone, I've made a breakthrough. Let that percolate.
I didn't have to percolate long.
When we get back, that contract we heard about yesterday, that 5-year, $45 million kicker there in the 5th year, that might not be true, or is it? Chris Sims said it. Others are denying it. We think they might protest too much. We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Jason Minix here for Pax Financial Group. At Pax Financial, they know that you want to be financially prepared. And in order to do that, you need trusted guidance. It could be time to have Pax Financial Group do a checkup on your portfolio. Is your portfolio concentrated in the international markets, especially China? Call Pax Financial Group, 210-881-5700. If you were recently laid off, before you withdraw from your IRA, double check with Pax. Let them help guide your long-term decisions. If you're thinking about taking Social Security, if you're uncertain, it could be time to have Pax double check your numbers. At Pax Financial Group, they believe everybody deserves to be hopeful about their future. They understand what it's like to want to protect your hard-earned money, which is why they've been entrusted by thousands of families for over a decade to provide financial guidance. Call Pax Financial Group, 210-881-5700. Check the website, paxfinancialgroup.com, P-A-X financialgroup.com. Investment advisory services offered by Pax Financial Group, LLC.
ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distancing Dough, presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch. Enter to win now at ESPNSA.com and give Dad the best gift ever. The chance at $1,000, plus a year's supply of Southern Recipe Small Batch pork rinds.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with their Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd through the 25th. All Nike golf shoes are 25% off. Score an epic deal on Callaway's Epic Flash Driver, now only $349. Save big with the G400 driver, now only $249. Remember, the more you buy, the more you save, and receive up to 25% off all apparel. Edwin Watts Golf Shops Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd to May 25th. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving golfers since 1968.
Right now, the world feels different as we stay apart to make sure we can safely come back together. Till then, there is something you can do without even leaving your home. Respond to the 2020 census online, by phone, or by mail. The census impacts where hundreds of billions in federal funding will go for things like hospitals, schools, and roads. Now is the time to go to 2020census.gov. It's as easy as it is important. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. On the go at ESPNSA.com. Check us out on Facebook Live as we broadcast daily. Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. An experienced personal injury attorney is a phone call away. You know one thing for sure. You call Jason Thompson, he will be your attorney. He's not one of those TV lawyers that brings you in with a fun face and has you work for one of those minor new types. You'll work with Jason Thompson the entirety of your case. The number 210-900-0400 or go to alawyerforus.com. All right, so Dak Prescott continues to be in the news because he hasn't signed his franchise, nor has he signed the contract offer from the Dallas Cowboys. But what is the actual contract offer? We know that there's a 4-year need for Dak Prescott. We know that the Cowboys want to offer 5 years. We've heard dollar amounts, but Chris Sims yesterday came out and said that 5th year, if the Cowboys did in fact offer it, we don't know, would include a $45 million payday that year, which seems like very fair to most people. Do you believe that this is real, as Chris Sims has told us, but others have, as the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott's agents have both come out and said that's not the case? Nothing like this has ever been discussed.
You know, I find it interesting that we haven't heard from Dak's agent through this whole process. You know, all these different comments that are made that it was a 4-year, $106 million guaranteed offer that he turned down. We didn't hear from Dak's agent. I do find it interesting that Chris Sims says it's a 5-year deal at $185, and if you do the math on that, it's still $35 million a year on average until that 5th year jumps up $10 million. So, you know, what Chris said isn't really out of the realm of possibilities if you look at the structure of what the Cowboys had been talking about and what's been reported out there. 4 years at $35 million per. You add that 5th year, add $10 million, and you get to that number that Chris Sims mentioned. So, you know, if you want that 5th year, it's going to cost you more. That does make sense. But I do find it interesting that not only Dak's agent came out and said, no, man, he's crazy. That never happened. But the Cowboys did too. Both the Cowboys and Dak's agency both have now refuted the Chris Sims report. I don't know, man. I just find it interesting that both of them decided now was the time to go and say, no, man, that never happened. There was no 5-year offer that we offered and that Dak turned down.
I think you look at it two ways. One, what is the Cowboys' history in negotiations? What does Jerry typically do when he's negotiating a big-time deal? It's either, one, a shock. It just suddenly shows up when you don't expect it. It's done behind the scenes, or it's prolonged with shots fired from both camps. It's negotiated both behind the scenes and very much publicly. And we've heard the Cowboys recently talking about, you know, if we pay Dak, there's not enough for other guys. You got to consider the long-term health of the team, yada, yada, yada. This isn't about us making more money. This is about spreading the money evenly and maintaining the integrity of our roster, even though we're paying you this amount of money, which is putting it all on Dak to decide. And then there's the idea of the 5-year contract. I think if this was true, if it was in fact a real offer that the Cowboys had let out there, judging by the sentiment today and yesterday afternoon as we heard all of this, most people heard that and go, well, what the hell's Dak's problem? I mean, you wanted 4 years and you were getting what the deal, or you wanted 5. The Cowboys want 5, you want 4. But if that 5th year comes in at $45 million, that's probably what you would be making if you had renegotiated. That's what a lot of people are thinking. And I think that the Cowboys would win in the public arena by saying, hey, we offered that, man, and he's already turned that down. Then it would start to look like Dak is either imminent to leave or just didn't want to play for the Cowboys or was greedy, and that would turn people against. Who cares, quite frankly? I don't care. Dak shouldn't care either. But it is the way the Cowboys have done it. I believe that didn't occur. I think if it was the case and the Cowboys were leaning on him to sign, they'd be public. Yeah, that's the offer. Why won't he sign that? This is a ridiculous amount of money. We're offering you the highest contract in the history of the league that won't even be touched for at least a year. I don't understand why Dak won't sign it. It would put Dak over a barrel. So I can't imagine that the Cowboys wouldn't take advantage of that, unless, of course, that Jerry is sticking to his plan of prolonging the press on this until July the 14th.
Well, and again, there's no urgency for Dak Prescott to sign right now. And that's the other part. If the number isn't exactly where he wanted to be, and you talked about what's the history. The history is until it's the final hour, Jerry Jones isn't going to cave. And in the final hour, Jerry Jones will cave and meet the demands of Dak Prescott. I do find it interesting because it's one thing to take the public bullets, if you will, of turning down $106 million guaranteed, but to turn down a 5-year $185 when the idea that Dak is that greedy, he thinks he wants more, especially on the heels of, I don't know, a CBS report listing the top 100 players and where Dak Prescott is on that list, where he's on that list overall in the NFL on the top 100 players, where he's at on the list when it comes to quarterbacks on that player. There is so much debate out there about if Dak Prescott is a top 5 quarterback, a top 10 quarterback, a top 15 quarterback, a top 20 quarterback. I mean, and none of that matters. Absolutely none of that matters when it comes to these negotiations or Jerry Jones. Jerry and Steven have said repeatedly, he is our guy. He is the future franchise quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. He is going to get paid. So whether you believe he should or not doesn't matter. Jerry believes it, but there's a number out there that Dak wants, and I'm starting to, and then, of course, how the structure is. Jared Goff got $110 million guaranteed, in that deal that we talked about with Mike Fisher up in Dallas from 105.3, The Fan and SI and all the other places that Fish works at. It was $106 million guaranteed. Ego plays a part in this. You don't want to, the way the NFL is structured right now, when you're up, you're next to be the highest paid player. That's just the game that's been played for so long for all of those quarterbacks. And, you can't blame Dak for wanting to play that game too. For 15 minutes, he gets to be the highest paid quarterback until the next guy signs.
Can't the argument be made that he would already get that without the bump? I mean, the contract offer was the highest ever.
Well, no,
already?
for the Dallas Cowboys, it was less. It was less in guaranteed money than what Jared Goff got, and so if you're Dak, you want 110.5.
Obviously.
Yeah, you want higher guarantee. He'll be the highest paid Cowboy in history, but not the highest paid player in the NFL, and that is obviously the goal right now for Dak Prescott.
It's a very difficult place to stand if that offer was made. And he said no, judging by the rank and, just judging by outside forces there. Though at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. This is just contract negotiations. And there's this hyper focus because there's not a lot going on. But if that was floating around out there, Dak will lose the PR battle, but win the war. He's still going to sign on July. He's still going to sign a deal and be a Cowboy. It's just a matter of how much guaranteed and whether the Cowboys flinch it for, and they will.
And they will. And when you understand where the TV contracts are going, and when they get renewed, if you're Dak Prescott, you want to renegotiate, when you're younger to get another one of these massive deals, but when that salary cap is going to bump up, as you and I both said yesterday, $45 million a year, 5 years from now is going to be a bargain. And if I'm Jerry Jones, why not just go with the shorter deal so you don't have him threatening to hold out or want to redo his deal with 2 years left on it? Because ultimately that's what's going to happen for everybody signing these ridiculous deals now. Even when you go back and look at Amari Cooper's contract, the life of that contract really after 2 years doesn't mean much, which tells me it's going to get renegotiated after that second year because that new CBA and contract, TV contract money is going to be available.
I think we'll know what quarterbacks are going to get paid, not by Deshaun and not by Mahomes, but I do think that we'll see what the market for quarterbacks will be what Lamar Jackson signs for. because I think the Saints are looking at that to see if they can find quarterbacks for a lesser amount of money to do a little bit more things and not worry long term. I think if it works out for Lamar Jackson and he continues to get paid, then yeah, Dak's going to be worth far more than $45 million. But if Lamar Jackson signs a much smaller deal, the paradigm changes, and other offensive coordinators can start searching for the Taysom Hills and Lamar Jackson types that you can pay a little bit less, use them in a couple different ways. You have a different kind of weapon. I just feel like it's a great bargain for both, 4 years. But I think now, if they're going with 4, do you think the Cowboys are now negotiating with guarantees? All right, we'll pay you. Well, we'll go with 4, but we'll have a little bit less guaranteed. You're going to have to make sure you earn every penny you're going to get with those $4 million. You know what I mean? For those 4 years. That would be the only way the Cowboys could save some face.
Well, I don't think the Cowboys will. They're going to cave, and Dak's going to get exactly what he wants.
I think you'll get 4 years, but I would negotiate heavily on that guaranteed part. You'll get your half, now let me get my half. We're both going to eat. If I'm the Cowboys, that's what I negotiate. We'll continue talking Dak as Chris Sims continues to open his mouth. When we get back, though, Burrow Yarborough is going to go and join us. He of the Missions and all of minor league baseball are in tough straits right now. We're going to hear from Burrow how they're going to muddle through and plans for the future. All minor league baseball, lots of questions to ask. Burrow will be here next. You want to hang with us here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. As you sit here on a Thursday afternoon, do you have something that just hurts, that you just can't get over? Maybe you got a strained back, or you hurt your knee. Maybe you pulled a muscle in your thigh or your calf doing some extra workouts that you didn't ever have time to do before. If you're dealing with pain and can't get it over it, call my friends at Arasti. I'll tell you, I was the same way. I'm a former athlete. You always learn to kind of tough it out and get over it. Well, there are times you just can't do that, and you're tired of living in pain, and Arasti can fix you fast. They are truly experts in resolving those chronic pain and soft tissue injuries that so many of us deal with, and so many of them just don't go away. When you call an Arasti provider, here's what's key to what they do against so many others. This is not about over-the-counter medications. It's not long-term treatment. It's certainly not about surgery. It's about an Arasti provider manipulating your body to fix itself. They pinpoint the problem, they fix the problem, and the pain goes away. It sounds easy. And it is, but so many lose sight of what you're really after, and that's an immediate fix. And they're so good at it that you can get it done in less than 4 visits. 3.2 on average, they found over hundreds of thousands of visits. So here's the information you need. I want you to write this number down and make the call and get yourself over the pain. The number is 1-800-404-6050. 1-800-404-6050. Now, Arasti providers, they're all around San Antonio, too many to name. If you want to find one close to you, go to the website, or you can talk to the friendly help at the phone number. The website's a great resource, though. Arasti.com, spelled AIRROSTI.com. Don't live in pain. Give them a call. It's not about age, young or old. Everybody benefits, and it'll benefit you fast. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti today and feel better soon. In fact, I'm so comfortable. I know if you call Arasti, you're certainly going to thank me later.
There's only one way to do Saturdays, with the Saturday Morning Hangover with RJ Ochoa and James Pledger. Getting you ready for all the weekend's games and then some. Saturday mornings 9 to 11, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Things are moving again in our community, and like so many other local businesses, Diamonds Direct is now open. We're ready to get back to our mission of helping you celebrate your love like never before. Our showrooms are clean, and we're taking all the necessary safety precautions. Our showcases are fully stocked, our values and prices are better than ever, and our team is eager to serve. And starting this Friday, we're helping in a big way with our most aggressive finance offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down on any purchase. Yes, 60 months, zero interest on anything. All certified diamonds, all designer rings, all fashion jewelry, all earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets. If you've had to delay that engagement or wedding or that anniversary or birthday celebration, Diamonds Direct is here to help. Starting Friday, you can spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. At Diamonds Direct, now more than ever, we know love is the most essential thing in our lives. So come see us and let us help you share that love with something she'll have forever. Diamonds Direct, open Memorial Day too. Get details, store hours, and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Thomas J. Henry recently recovered $20 million for a back injury in a product liability case. If you were hurt in an accident, we can help. Visit tjhlaw.com/radio to start your claim today. That's tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
For over 70 years, Ewald Kubota has served the communities of South and Central Texas. And during these unusual times, we are still here, open for business, and ready to help working people. I'm John Ewald, and Ewald Kubota is an essential business. We're essential because we help families grow food, construction workers build roads, and ranchers work the land that is so important to our state. If you need your equipment repaired, serviced, or replaced, please come see us. We're here for you.
O'Reilly. Could your car use a spring cleaning? Now's the time to stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts during Clean Car Month for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new, like Mother's California Gold Wash and Wax, just $4.99 for a 64-ounce bottle. Save big on your spring cleaning car products today. O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Every home has things it needs, things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app, order it online with the push of a button, and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the online know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices that make it all possible. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It's the Blitz. You're on ESPN San Antonio. Jason and Rob with you on a good old Thursday. You know, as baseball fights to come back, that discussion with the majors continues. But as this struggle has gone on, minor league baseball is in turmoil. The San Antonio Missions in this transition to AAA baseball was exceptional last year. But boy, what a speed bump. We'd like to welcome on the show Burl Yarbrough. And in my mind, he is Mr. Mission. He's been around the Missions for 25 years, it feels like. Burl, we're so glad you had some time to take with us. Welcome aboard.
Hey, glad to be here.
You know, Burl, I know we should be in the middle of a AAA baseball season. We're hearing all kinds of talk about how Major League Baseball is trying to come back, but no talk about how that will affect minor league teams. I would think that if there's Major League Baseball, they would at least have to have AAA to help out rosters in case of injuries and whatnot. But what is the latest right now on when the AAA season will get underway, if at all?
You know, I wish I knew. We should be starting a long homestand tonight, you know, versus the Iowa Cubs getting ready to open the gates in about an hour and a half. Let's see, this would be $1 hot dog, $1 beer night. This weekend we were going to be playing as the San Antonio Puffy Tacos. So, man, we had so many great plans for this year that so far we haven't been able to realize. No, we are waiting like everybody else. You know, patiently hoping that we're able to salvage some gains at some point this summer.
Burl Yarbrough, president of the San Antonio Missions, joining us here on the Blitz. And, you know, I think you need to explain to a lot of folks out there your relationship with the Brewers as an affiliate. I think so many of us look at the Missions and think, well, you're an affiliate of the Brewers. They're going to kick some money down and they're going to do all the things to take care of their affiliates like any company would take care of a subsidiary or something like that. But the fact is, that's not really the case, is it, Burl?
No, it is not. You know, our club has been owned by the Elmore family for 34 years. And, you know, this is my 33rd year here running this ball club. And you know, we always have a player development agreement with the Major League Club. And last year was our first year with the Brewers at the AAA level. And you know, we usually go, you know, every 2 years and have a new agreement coming up. But they do supply the players for us and pay their salaries and everything. But business-wise, everything else is on us, all the stadium costs and personnel and everything it takes to run a season.
There is a very in-depth article on in Sports Illustrated, minor league baseball is in crisis, and it's a survey that they sent out to a bunch of minor league teams. It's anonymous. I don't know if you participated in this survey or not, but I learned a lot about how minor league baseball works. I was one that thought that you got something from your parent organization, not just players. And, you know, this article in Sports Illustrated it paints a dire picture for a lot of franchises that, quite frankly, won't be able to survive this pandemic because the majority of the money made, your operating costs, are on ticket sales and sponsorship sales. And without a season, that's an entire year without any kind of revenue. What has been the impact so far with the Missions Club? Obviously, no ticket sales, but you know, how are you, or what are you guys trying to do to overcome the obviously loss of no fans and no games.
Yeah, we're certainly in a tough situation, like, businesses all over the country. We're a small business like, many other small businesses around here. Unfortunately for us, we have a 5-month period that we make our revenue. And, we're almost, we're 2 months into the 5 months that we know we're not going to be playing. So, the timing wasn't good for us. Is there a good timing for this? No. But, for us, we had for the last, 6-7 months get ready for our season. So, we've incurred a ton of expenses, and as you can imagine, all the hats and T-shirts and everything we buy to get ready for the season. We did all that, and we were 3 weeks away from opening day, and things changed. I was out at Arizona to see some spring training games, and got to see one game, and they shut it down the second day I was out there, and things haven't been the same since.
Burl Yarborough joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. He's the president of the San Antonio Missions. And as we discussed the collapse because of COVID, this also is running parallel to just minor league baseball in general, going through issues with Major League Baseball, and contraction appeared to be imminent regardless of COVID. What in the family that is minor league baseball, what do you see happening over the next 5 years? Is it going to be a smaller organization? Are we going to lose a bunch of teams, or are the teams that are contracted, will they remain but just be kind of like wildcat teams?
I think there's a good possibility that, yes, we're going to see 40 less teams next year in minor league baseball. And I think a lot of those communities, though, will still have baseball in some form or fashion. Major League Baseball has promised to help them, meet that goal. And whether that be a college wood bat league or some type of independent baseball with help from Major League Baseball, I think it's going to, it's certainly going to come into play. The other thing they're going to be doing is, like right now you have teams that sign these 2-year player development contracts, and inevitably you end up with, the Washington Nationals, they're in Fresno, California, which is the last place they want to be, just for the reason that when they need to call a guy up, that's a long plane ride. They'd much rather have a AAA club close to where they're at. And so I think there could be some reshuffling of leagues and levels that teams are, where we come into that, I'm not sure. We know we're going to have baseball in San Antonio in 2020-21. I can't tell you who we'd be affiliated with at this point necessarily, or even if we'll be AAA or AA at this point.
Well, and you mentioned that because, not only are we dealing with the loss of games during the pandemic, the idea of a new stadium, and if no new stadium is built, could that mean we go back to AA from the AAA spot that we're at right now?
Well, if that's the case, if we end up going to AA, that would be the reason, because of the stadium situation that we have right now.
Well, given the delay in just the season and all things sports, had there been progress toward a stadium, any that you were aware of?
Well, it's one of those things that we've continually worked on, and it's something a project that's been ongoing for 5 years, coming on 5 years, and we hope to have something that we can talk about at some point. I really don't think now's the time with everything that we're all going through, though.
No, and obviously, that's there, but just to make sure we all understand that, without a new stadium, staying in AAA is not likely.
I think that's a possibility, because, with the new agreement that looks like it's going to be in place, teams are going to be, moved around, and I think that may be, if we do get moved to AA, that will be the reason. Obviously, this is one of the bigger cities in AAA baseball, along with Charlotte and Sacramento and Oak City and Nashville and everything. But all those places have newer ballparks.
Burl Yarborough, president of the San Antonio Missions, joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. You mentioned earlier that tonight would have been Puffy Taco Night, and man, what a great time that would have been, and all the gear that goes along with it. Let's say I wanted to buy a Puffy Taco T-shirt or a hat. Could I do that?
Well, we have had no luck at this point. A lot of our suppliers have shut down. I think we're expecting a shipment of hats to come in, and they're going to go fast because this is kind of a one-time deal for us that we were planning on doing this weekend, and so we are waiting some hats to come in. But when this thing happened, I mean, everything pretty much shut down for us, and a lot of our suppliers that we get stuff from, fortunately we were close enough to the season where a lot of it had come in, but stuff that we had scheduled for mid to later in the year, was still due to arrive.
But one thing that, because I'm on your website now and it was promoting a Mother's Day sale that you had, I would hope that there's a Father's Day sale. While they can't buy tickets to go sit at the ballpark right now and watch baseball, they can help out the organization by going down and getting a hat, a T-shirt, and something to help you guys generate a little bit of revenue at this point.
Yeah, without a doubt, Jason. It's going to be a long year for us. We will survive this. Again, we're a small business like a lot of other people, and it's going to be a tough year, and could be a couple, 2 or 3 years that to fight our way out of it. But baseball's been here since 1888. And, we've got a great group of fans that support us year after year. And, we miss seeing them out here at the Wolf, I can promise you.
Well, Burl, as you say that, I mean, the idea of playing games without fans, or if there was some sort of social distanced seating chart, would that even be from a business standpoint worth it?
Well, we are working on a social distancing seating chart, and yes, we would be very willing to open the season at 50%, capacity. Being outdoors. I think this is a venue that would work well, and so spread out with the berm and the seats and everything. We would certainly be willing to operate a season at 50% capacity. We think we could make that work. It certainly wouldn't be as an ideal situation. We couldn't do some of the things that we like to do on 4th of July and some of our other big promotions, but we could make it work.
Could you do it without fans?
Do what?
Would you have do you see a possibility of AAA baseball right now without fans at all?
I do not, Jason, because, like you say, we do not have big media contracts for us. All our revenue is really related to, fans coming to the games, buying tickets, buying beer, buying hot dogs, things like that. And, all the sponsorships and things we do along that, it really all is relevant, kind of comes from how many fans we draw on a yearly basis. So, yeah, the business model does not work for us playing games without fans.
Well, Burl, we appreciate you taking some time with us. Certainly go hit the gift shop, get online, and order what you can. We are behind you 100%, and as soon as baseball's back, we're going to be there with you.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. Always good to talk to you.
Burl Yarborough, the president of the San Antonio Missions, right here on the Blitz. A couple things that we need to reflect on, Jason. He said some things that I think are worthy of discussion, and we're going to get into the idea of going back to AA. We're going to get into the idea of AAA going away. We're going to get into the idea of the stadium and the progress that was out there, and then just the very likelihood of what could occur. We'll talk about that next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
As you get ready for Memorial Day weekend, you're going to fire up the barbecue. You go into H-E-B, get the great Kielbasa sausage, and make sure you get those Kielbasa breakfast links as well so you can take your breakfast to the next level. Kielbasa breakfast links are available at H-E-B stores throughout the San Antonio area, and these breakfast links are uniquely Kielbasa. Like the dinner sausage you already know and love, These links are crafted in small 150-pound batches with premium cuts of pork and hand-blended spices. They're bursting with flavor, and they come fully cooked, so you can pop them in the microwave for an easy breakfast on the go. If you're on one of those no-carb diets, Kielbasa breakfast links are perfect. They're premium, small-batch breakfast links that certainly live up to Kielbasa's high standards of quality. If they're not the best breakfast links you've ever tasted, just call Michael Kielbasa. He'll give you your money back. Get into HEB. Get those Kielbasa breakfast links today.
If you don't listen to Will Kane, you might develop erectile dysfunction. Not medically proven, but totally not worth the risk, right? Will Kane, weekdays at 2, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
At Advance Auto Parts, we want to make sure your vehicle is ready to roll when you are. So when it's time to get back on the road, we offer free battery testing and installation with batteries starting at just $79.99. And right now, you can do your part to help a community hero stay on the road. Visit advanceautoparts.com to nominate someone who deserves our support, and you could each win $1,000. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
At Sprint, we understand saving money for your family is now more important than ever. That's why we're offering our best unlimited deal. Switch and get 4 lines of unlimited for just $100 a month. That's right, 4 lines for $100. Plus, the plan includes Hulu, 500 megabytes of mobile hotspot, DVD quality streaming, and more. If that's not enough, to really amp this up, we're including 4 amazing iPhone 11s on us when you trade in iPhone 6s or newer in any condition. And now, Sprint customers enjoy access to expanded coverage on the T-Mobile network. Shop from the comfort of your home at Sprint.com, call 800-SPRINT-1, or come see us in our stores. Phone after $29.17 per month credit for 18 months credit. Apply within 2 bills. Cancel early. Remaining balance due. Requires new account. Unlimited basic after $731.21. Pay $35 per month per line with autopay. Data deprioritization during congestion. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Excludes taxes, fees, and roaming. Speed maximum use rules. $30 activation fee and restrictions apply.
I hate Tom's Tulip Shop. It just smells so flowery. Like we're good at your flower shop. You don't need to remind us.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
I needed a fake plant. They don't sell fake plants. Thanks for nothing, Tom.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Then he says, have a great day. I'll decide what kind of day to have.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
Every home has things it needs, things that need to be maintained, fixed, or replaced. The Home Depot is here to help you get it done. You can easily find what you need on our app, order it online with the push of a button, and have it brought to your door with free delivery on over 1 million items. We have the essentials you need, the online know-how you may need to do it yourself, and low prices that make it all possible. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com. Thank you so much for dialing us in. If you miss any of the Blitz, there's a place to go. That would be the Audio Vaults. It's brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and it's on ESPN San Antonio. Go there, catch up on anything you might have missed. And if you're just joining us, you missed Burl Yarborough, the president of the San Antonio Missions. And as baseball fights to come back, minor league baseball is fighting just to survive. And as Burl told us, there will be no baseball if there are no fans. And with no fans coming in this year and the end of their affiliate agreement with the Milwaukee Brewers, which are standard 2-year deals, we might very well see a downgrade in the level of baseball. Not so much in the quality, but of the level from AAA back down to AA. It seems almost imminent, doesn't it, Jason?
Well, I mean, there's obviously, when it comes to the Missions, a lot of balls in the air when you think about trying to get a new stadium done. I've heard the whispers that they sometimes you hear that they've got some sites and they're making progress, and then of course a pandemic hits, and my greatest fear was if they didn't get a new stadium that we would lose baseball. And as Burl said, we've had baseball in San Antonio since 1888. So I guess the idea of going from AAA to AA as opposed to going from AAA to no baseball is better than none. But they do need a new stadium. That Wolf Stadium was built in 1994. And when it was built, it was great, but it was in 1994. Think about all the other stadiums that were built in the early 90s that have since been replaced. But the idea of going back to AA is a bit shocking after one really good year of AAA baseball.
But with no stadium, it's hard to justify it. They're not going to build. Investors aren't going to build for AA, even though it would be the same fans plus others, I believe, if AAA stayed. But I just can't imagine a scenario, and at least in the next 2 years, where there's suddenly a stadium being built and AAA staying. As we sit, they were in negotiations of whether they were going to stay with Milwaukee or not. It's not uncommon to change affiliates. And no other team, I would think, they might be eager to jump into the Pacific Coast League, but what is the point if the ownership isn't going to make any extra money but deal with more of the hassle of the Pacific Coast League and all the travel that goes along with it?
One of the things that, if my memory serves correctly, is the Texas Rangers decided not to use San Antonio for AAA because of the stadium. And, we've had their manager on, Rick Sweet. Sweetie's told us a couple of times. I mean, they did some work to the home dugout in locker room to make it, clubhouse to make it AAA level, but that visitor dugout is still not up to standards, even for AA.
It still floods. If it rains, that place fills with water. It still floods.
Again, in a non-pandemic year, could there be progress on that new stadium? But can they in this pandemic year, unless there is some sort of government type infrastructure thing?
Yeah, Jason, I think you've hit it on the head. This is the bright shining light, and I'm glad you brought this up. As the country is going to struggle to get out of the pandemic and the lulls in the economy, it is not too far-fetched to think that there's going to be a massive public works bill passed, massive for infrastructure improvement that would go to think back to what happened in the post-30s. We still have a football stadium downtown, the Rock Pile. That was an outbirth of that. That was built with public money as they were trying to put the country back to work. And I would not be surprised to see something very much like that could include infrastructure like stadiums to build up the things that were beat down in them smaller towns. But I still think San Antonio is going to run into an issue, and Burl brought it up as well. We're a big city with a little team, and there's not too many big cities with these style of teams. Charlotte, to compare us with Charlotte, we're bigger than Charlotte, and we still can't build a stadium.
Charlotte, Nashville has that new stadium downtown for their AAA team. And the other part that I took from Burl, obviously the idea of going from AAA to AA, I guess, is better news than if they don't get a stadium that they would be gone. Is that if baseball does come back and they can't have fans and they're working on 50% seating capacity, that it's not in their business model. The expense to put on a season without a fan in the stands, they can't do that.
It's a negative.
And so if Major League Baseball comes back and they can't get AAA baseball going, I suppose they could have players working out on a daily basis at their training facilities in Arizona or Florida or wherever, just to have guys ready to go if they need to get called up. But that there won't be AAA baseball if there can't be fans in the stands in some sort of capacity.
No, you're absolutely right. And no TV means no fans. No play. You just can't. You can't play with no gate and no concessions. It's a net negative. You make zero money. In fact, it costs you more just to unlock the gate. Quite frankly, than it would to do.
And the field crew and the umpires and everything that goes with it that are on their expense ledger with no fans coming in. Forget about it.
It is comforting to know, as Burl said, this is, going on as just contraction in minor league baseball was going to happen regardless of this. And there was great concern about, cities. Wow, we've had baseball here for 135 years, 120 years. There's a lot of little towns that's the same thing, but at least we have revenue and avenues to, replace if something is lost. Some of these small towns that if they lose those teams, the idea of them ever coming back is scary. But as Burl said, they'll find a way to maintain baseball in those smaller markets, which I think would also apply here to San Antonio. So if all things fall apart, I do believe there will still be baseball in San Antonio, whether it's independent, Wildcat, or whatever it might be, because we do have the funds and we do have an ownership that understands how to run minor league baseball in a big city. And that is a skill that not too many have. So while I'm worried about baseball in San Antonio, the level and the level of baseball in the stadium, I'm not worried about losing baseball forever. I think there's enough grassroots here to maintain baseball one way or the other. Whoever would own the team would make a little bit of money because we go out, we follow the teams. It's part of who we are.
That's true. And I think the Elmore group, as Burl said, and I didn't realize it'd been already, 33 years is what he said.
He took over in 87. I believe was the year.
Over in but Burl did, but the Elmore group has owned it long before.
Oh yeah,
then.
forever. Yeah.
And so I guess 43, whatever the math is, they're going to be able to survive this pandemic. Right now, overall, that ownership group is strong. Where you read that Sports Illustrated article, and there are some teams that, like a mom and pop restaurant or a small business is just going to close their doors forever because they won't be able to survive this.
When we get back on the 5 o'clock, Aldon Smith speaks after he was reinstated in a remarkably short amount of time. We're going to hear from what Aldon and what he has to think about coming back, his goals and playing, and just his general attitude about being a Dallas Cowboy. And then, of course, it's Thursday, 5:15. The time is set. The poet laureate arrives. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle will join us. We're going to talk Texans, brand new coordinators calling plays. Is this the O'Brien that we remember? We'll talk about that with him. And then Tom Brady and butt sweat. You can't put that sentence together without following it up on it. So at 5:30, we'll talk Tom Brady and butt sweat and the elimination thereof. We got into that yesterday. It's very funny that we talked about Dak Prescott with a new center and all those kind of stuff. Well, even the GOAT has to deal with that. He had to teach his center what to do and how to do it so Tom's hands don't get all wet. You know what I mean? You stick your hand some places, comes back a little wet, it's damp, it's musty, it involves baby powder. I'm just telling you. I mean, it's not a pleasant thing. You get paid a lot of money, but you don't want to put your hand down there unless there's a lot of baby powder and towels. Let's just leave it at that. We got a lot to get into, so hang around with us, man. You're on the Blitz live on Facebook. Check. What's that? Live on Facebook.
You got to take care of that.
Yeah,
ask Kyle. Ask Cousins. We'll be right back. You're hanging with the Blitz right on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go, ESPNSA.com.
Nails on a Chalkboard has more listeners. Dan Levitine, weekdays 9 till noon, only on San Antonio's sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
If you're a pro who manages properties or replaces appliances regularly, it helps to have a go-to resource like Lowe's. We have the brands pros have trusted for years. Solid names like Maytag, Whirlpool, and GE, all easily ordered on lowesforpros.com and all quickly delivered to the job site with free delivery 7 days a week. Even better, you can get up to 40% off select appliances during our appliance savings event. Whatever you need today or any day, Lowe's is pro ready. Offers valid through 6/3. Free local delivery applies to appliances $2.99 or more. U.S. only.
We understand that these are uncertain times, and while we are all looking for answers, we know many of you are also looking for help. That's why Liberty Mutual is automatically refunding a portion of our customers' personal auto insurance premiums. We're also offering flexible payment options for those who have been financially affected by the crisis. In these uncertain times, we want you to know we are here to help. Learn more about what Liberty Mutual is doing at libertymutual.com/COVID-19.
Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Nobody beats our prices on high-quality performance window tint and expert installation. It's essential to protect yourself and your family from the sun's hot rays and car thieves. Save $100 off regular winter prices when you purchase the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm package. This is a deal. Save $100 off our regular winter prices now at the start of summer. Limited to stock on hand. For 36 years, Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm special. Want to make your car go thump, 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 mother thump. Premium car stereos on sale. Sony, Kicker, JVC, JBL, Diamond, Kenwood, Memphis Audio, all on sale. GPS, remote start systems, all on sale. Save $100 on the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm special. Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm special. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
From nurses to truck drivers,
doctors to grocery clerks. The front lines in today's crisis are filled with brave actions every day. And you can do your part by completing the 2020 census. This simple effort online, by phone, or by mail will help impact the next 10 years of healthcare, schools, and roads. All of our first responders need your response. So go to 2020census.gov today. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
The folks at Odor Eaters want to express our deep appreciation for the healthcare professionals, first responders, and essential business employees who continue to do so much to take care of the rest of us.
This is Roger Staubach. You are listening to San Antonio's sports leader, 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM
KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minix, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM. Go check us out on Facebook. Go to ESPN San Antonio's page, our YouTube channel. Like it, please. He's Jason Minix. I'm Rob Thompson. James Pledger with us for the next couple of hours as we go all the way to 7 o'clock. And then directly after Down for the Count, the boys gather together to talk all things wrestling, which continues. They actually have content to cover on a regular basis, Brandon and Dan.
You can also see this now going straight to the ESPNSA.com homepage. We're right there up front, the video.
Our video stream is on ESPNSA.com. So you don't have to go find the YouTube page, but you can do that, or on Facebook Live. You can comment, you can call us, you can tweet us. Lots of ways to interact.
So we heard from Aldon Smith. We hear from a brand new Dallas Cowboy, which, if the story maintains and if things continue, it is going to be one of those comeback stories that we all pray for when something like this occurs, when a guy gets a second opportunity. And Aldon, well, he's certainly grateful for the opportunity.
Well, he's grateful for the opportunity, and he looks at this opportunity like a barking dog. I mean, you know, he is just so excited. He is just a puppy. All the things that he has overcome, it can be an inspiration to others.
I was able to defeat some big obstacles in my life, and I just want my story to spread and help out others. And for people who may have thought differently about me, and for those people who always believed in me, to be able to say, wow, I mean, this is great, because I believe everybody goes through things in their life, and no matter what they do for a profession, it affects them in a manner which could either be their downfall, or it could be something that they could look at and learn from. And so I want people to see my story and be able to be like, hey, man, he can do it. He's done it. And I want to be a source of inspiration for people.
So he's going to be a source of inspiration, and he has overcome a lot of things. Now, you know, obviously when, you know, you've been out of the game for 5 years, he last played in 2015. You know, you gotta hope that you're in shape, Rob, that you can bounce back. But, you know, as he told TMZ, you know, God blessed him with so many natural abilities.
God has blessed me with talent.
Here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
So I still feel young. I don't have the mileage on my body. I still feel great. When I go to the gym, I still feel, you know, young and fresh.
Nobody can hang with my stuff. You know, I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine.
So if anything, I'm looking forward to what I'm going to be able to do out there.
He's just powerful.
It's always contrite. Yeah, I mean, the guy was born with it, so you know, just take a good look at him. I mean, this guy, God blessed him with all kinds of stuff, and he can take 5 years off. You know, the fact is, it
sounds
you
humble.
want confidence. You know, yeah, he's humble, but you want confidence with any professional football player. But this guy has it in oodles, man. I'm down, man. I hope he's right.
Well, I mean, look, he hasn't played in 5 years. He pisses excellence, and he has big-time goals.
I'm an overall better person. So I got 20
You couldn't
sacks,
be worse.
19 and a half. I say 20 because it was 20. But I was able to play at a high level with a lot of other things going on in my life. And with how life is for me now, my goal is to pick up where I left off. And that just means I always work hard. I always play hard. I want the same thing out of my teammates. And I'm sure those guys in the locker room feel the same way. And with that mentality, the sky is the limit.
20 sacks or 19 and a half, but 20 by his, because, the man took half a sack away. And those guys know. I mean, I don't doubt he believes he had 20 and got robbed of a half sack somewhere along the way. If that dude can come in and give us 10 sacks, that's a win for the Dallas Cowboys, let alone 20. But if he can get you 10 or, quarterback hurries where a pass ends up being complete because of the pressure that he applied. But when you watch him and you see him, whether it's some of the videos that we've seen Jay Glazer put out or just, he did this interview with TMZ, just looking at him, he might have had a lot of things going on, but he hasn't missed any weight room time. He looks like he could still play at a high level. He doesn't have the look like he hasn't played in 5 years.
No, and the attitude that he's bringing, certainly we're excited to see. But let's not forget the history. This story is just beginning in the return phase. I mean, this is a guy who didn't he say he had a bomb on him at the LAX airport? Didn't he get stabbed at some point at a party in his own house? Wasn't there weapons charges, several DUIs, domestic abuse? Yeah, we want you to be an inspiration. That's what I'm saying, man. We want you to inspire others, but let's put a little bit of distance between what was and what is before we talk inspiration, man. You got to live minute to minute, day to day, to get yourself mentally in a position to where you can stay competitive. So, hey, we're excited about the idea of Aldon Smith coming back, but that's a very confident dude. Let's hope he backs it up. And here's the other part of this story that I think is buried. How did Jay Glazer manage not to get that interview?
Well, you know what? He did the interview, and he was wearing Jay Glazer's gym's hat and shirt. So my guess is that you look at Jay just spreading the wealth around. Maybe he owed somebody at TMZ for a tip. So while Jay didn't get that exclusive interview, although he did when he first signed. I think the idea is you go out there and you promote that charity that Jay Glazer is a part of. And no, we're not going to talk about the damn Vikings. This is cowboy country, man. Get that American flag and support America's team, Cisco kid.
Hey, we got Aldon Smith. What do you got? we got Aldon Smith. You're not even close. Now,
we even have a Diggs on our team. You used to have a Diggs on your team. Skull.
The idea of him coming back the way that he's going to come back and this opportunity that he's given, and you go back and look at his rap sheet. And again, I'm going to fall back on something that we discussed yesterday. This is a guy who has obviously had some unbalanced behavior in his past. This is not just about alcohol abuse or drug abuse, though that was part of the reason why he was suspended. Again, I cannot stop and thinking about Randy Gregory. What on earth is the delay? Randy hadn't, called in bomb threats and been stabbed and had weapons violations and all that. And Aldon's back. By all we've understood is Randy just got high, and that's no longer an issue, yet he is still not a Dallas Cowboy.
Although we also understand that Aldon applied first for reinstatement. And
that just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, there are steps that you have to accomplish before you can apply. And I don't know what all those steps are, but if we hear that Aldon applied for reinstatement before Randy Gregory, and who knows that, maybe Aldon Smith applied long before. And one of the reasons the Cowboys were able to sign him is because they knew that he was already traveling down that path to get back to the NFL. I mean, he might have started that process last July when he was getting sober. And part of the, all right, you get sober, here's the steps that you have to take. The Randy Gregory one is surprising, but you know what? I fully believe that when it all comes down to it, he'll end up getting reinstated before training camp starts, whenever that might be.
Didn't we think that last year? And if, in fact, Randy Gregory was scheduled to come back, if he had been following the steps, and keep in mind, this is 2 years. This ain't 9 months like Aldon Smith went through. We're talking about 2 years in the suspension and an application that was denied by what we understand. If it's not that important to him now, if he wasn't going to apply for reinstatement at 12:01 a.m., like evidently Aldon Smith did and got in line first. How much can we put credit and stock into the idea that Randy Gregory even wants to come back? Why would Aldon Smith apply quicker than Randy Gregory?
Randy Gregory's agent, Peter Schaefer, tells Pro Football Talk, quote, "We are working through the process. We are very happy for Aldon and wish him all the luck in the world and successful resumption of his career. It's refreshing to see the NFL following through on their stated goals to focus more on rehabbing players than punishing players." I have no idea why Randy Gregory, but he's not there yet.
Nope.
But he's working through the process, Rob. I mean, it's Jason Garrett. It's the clapper. It's a process.
That's how it feels.
One step at a time. Just working every day to get better.
I just hope that the young man doesn't rush back and deal with relapses and all that. Certainly, we want complete mental health when you become an NFL football player. That's the least the league can offer their players. So certainly, I hope it continues that way. The Houston Texans have made news for a lot of bad things. O'Brien has, in fact, promoted both new coordinators, both offensive and defensive. We got to hear from him this week. Let's talk with John McClain of the Houston Chronicle in regard to the Texans' brand new play callers on both sides of the ball. We might be seeing a brand new Texans outlook, or will we? John McClain next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, they get arrested, you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast. The best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or check their website, mybestbailbonds.com. You can even start the bonding process there online. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. And you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you really understand what all those conditions are before you accept it. Your best option, AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 to get you out fast. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. So here in San Antonio, down in Corpus, the Valley, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, call AA Best Bail Bonds, license number 149. The phone number, 210-225-2121, 225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com.
No Justin Bieber bump music here. Stop it! Knock it off! San Antonio sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
Injuries happen even during a crisis. When they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, sports injuries, dislocations, and sprains and strains. With 2 locations, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray, casting, and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury with no urgent care or emergency room copay. Injured? Get to Ortho Now. Visit TSAOG.com/Ortho Now for more information.
It's time to get to the yard. It's time to get outside and make it amazing. To get to the grass in the sunny afternoons. It's the season to get your backyard ready for action. To get the lawn lush and green and get rid of those pesky patches. It's easy to make your lawn better than ever with Scott's. Because even though this year may feel different, the best things never change. So let's get to it. This is your season. Time to enjoy it. Scott's. Get to the yard.
Things are moving again in our community, and like so many other local businesses, Diamonds Direct is now open. We're ready to get back to our mission of helping you celebrate your love like never before. Our showrooms are clean, and we're taking all the necessary safety precautions. Our showcases are fully stocked, our values and prices are better than ever, and our team is eager to serve. And starting this Friday, we're helping in a big way with our most aggressive finance offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down on any purchase. Yes, 60 months, 0 interest on anything. All certified diamonds, all designer rings, all fashion jewelry, all earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets. If you've had to delay that engagement or wedding or that anniversary or birthday celebration, Diamonds Direct is here to help. Starting Friday, you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. At Diamonds Direct, now more than ever, we know love is the most essential thing in our lives. So come see us and let us help you share that love with something she'll have forever. Diamonds Direct, open Memorial Day too. Get details, store hours, and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Guys, Waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-394-4915. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no-strings-attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-394-4915. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-394-4915. 1-800-394-4915.
From nurses to truck drivers, doctors to grocery clerks, the front lines in today's crisis are filled with brave actions every day. And you can do your part by completing the 2020 census. This simple effort online, by phone, or by mail will help impact the next 10 years of healthcare, schools, and roads. All of our first responders need your response. So go to 2020census.gov today. Shape your future. Start here at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
The folks at Odor Eaters want to express our deep appreciation for the healthcare professionals, first responders, and essential business employees who continue to do so much to take care of the rest of us. To all of you working harder and longer days, if our products can help make the days ahead a little more bearable, you can find them in stores and online at Walmart, Target, CVS, or other fine retailers. Thank you. Stay healthy and safe.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. There's a variety of ways you can view our lovely mugs. You can go to ESPNSA.com. We got our stream going there. More comfortable on the YouTubes? Feel free to go there. It's at our ESPN San Antonio channel and, of course, on Facebook Live. You know, in my time at home, my social distancing thing, one of the things I desperately need is structure. I need to have touchstones that keep me grounded, and this is one of those times. John McClain is going to arrive right now for his weekly visit here into San Antonio, the poet laureate of Texas sports writers. John McClain, welcome aboard. How's your day going?
My day's going great, Rob, and I'm glad to keep you well-grounded.
Well,
somebody needs to. It's obvious Jason can't do it.
Dude,
it's
John,
a tight tether. Let's just put it that way.
You do more in 10 minutes every week than I can get done in 5. So, I mean, you know, it's...
John, you know, this week we had an opportunity to finally hear from those new offensive and defensive coordinators. I want to look a little bit at Tim Kelly taking over the play calling. Been around the Texans for 5 years. Is the quarterbacks coach, will maintain that responsibility. It was kind of exciting to hear Kelly speak this week. It feels like maybe a little bit more explosion is in order for all these great speed players in space. Looks like we're going to see a very different offense than what we've seen.
Nobody knows Bill O'Brien better than Tim Kelly. He's been with him for 9 years, beginning as a graduate assistant at Penn State, and he's worked his way up from quality control to last year as offensive coordinator. And he was involved in the game plan. He's coached tight ends, offensive line. O'Brien thinks he has a chance to be a head coach. He's 34 years old, and he's got a really good relationship with Deshaun Watson. And Tim, he talked to us every week last year because the coordinators have to. And he was very careful not to tell us much. He's been around O'Brien long enough to know that. But one of the things they want to do is if their receivers are healthy, now that's a big if considering the injury situations of all the top 4 guys. But with Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks and Kenny Stills all ran in the 4.3s, inter combine, and with Randall Cobb coming off the highest average per catch in his career, 15.1, and then with David Johnson being one of the best receivers out of the backfield, that's not counting the tight ends. Deshaun Watson and Tim Kelly are going to have a whole lot of options. Kelly to call the plays in the formation, and they give Watson a lot of freedom. So he's got all his tight ends back. So one of the problems with not being able to be on the field right now is you'd be out there with all these new players I just mentioned. As it is, they're having to do it virtually, but they're all experienced veterans. Randall Cobb's not going to have any problem adjusting to this offense once they're finally able to get on the field. But it is going to be exciting to see how much they throw the ball down the field. 2 times this week. Once Pro Football Focus had Watson as the second best deep thrower last year behind Russell Wilson. Next Gen Stats had him 7th. But either way, depending on the formula they use, he was one of the tops throwing the ball down the field. And when Fuller was playing, he was even better.
John, as you think about Tim Kelly and what he's going to do, but he's been with O'Brien for so long, should we expect anything different out of this Texans offense than what we've seen? I mean, will he have a stamp that he can put on this thing?
Well, I watched yesterday, Jason. There was a thing the NFL put out was Deshaun Watson's best play in each game. So I watched it. They were doing it for several players, and I watched Watson, and some of his best plays were creative on his part, but some of them were creative play calls by Bill O'Brien. Now, people just don't like O'Brien, so nothing he can do short of winning a Super Bowl is going to change anybody's minds, but they may pop up with Kelly and throw the ball deep more because they have more deep threats, and it would certainly behoove the offense if Fuller could stay healthy. And it could have been that if O'Brien was calling the plays and those guys were healthy, he might have thrown it deep as much. But I can tell you this, if they do anything good, everybody's going to credit Kelly. And if they do anything bad, everybody's going to blame O'Brien for giving the play calling duties to Kelly instead of hiring somebody that bring a fresh set of eyes into the organization.
I think that's the perfect gig to have. Are you kidding? I'll take that any day of the week. If I fail, it's not my fault. And if anything good happens, it's all mine. Man, that's a gig. I'll take it. John McClain.
You have that gig. What are you talking about?
John McClain. Hey, it's not a bad life, let me tell you. John, let's look on the other side of the ball. That's actually really funny. Anthony Weaver taking over as defensive coordinator from Romeo Crennel. And it feels very much the same as what Kelly's dealing with. While he's taking over the gig, Romeo Crennel is still there. Before we talk about what Weaver's going to do, what exactly is Romeo Crennel's job?
He's associate head coach, as he was in 2017 for Mike Vrabel. And Bill O'Brien relies on Crennel for a lot of things now that he doesn't have to call the defenses. And he'll be almost like O'Brien's right-hand man. O'Brien respects Romeo a lot. Everybody does. So he can ask him a lot of stuff, get his input. And I think that's also good to have Crennel there for a first-time play caller like Anthony Weaver, because he's been there. This will be his 6th year with Crennel. If you got one of the all-time best defensive coordinators, if you need him to ask him stuff, that's a tremendous tool.
Sounds like a retired high school coach that's now coaching at a private school. Just I'll show up when you need me. Y'all handle the grunt work. If Bill needs me, you can go ahead and give me a call. It sounds like a pretty good gig. But looking at what Weaver has, do we expect a little bit more of a well, I don't know what to say. Risk taking, but given his influences, is it going to be a little bit more of an aggressive defense under Weaver than it was under Crennel, or is it just going to be the timeline because of the mentorship that Crennel's offered Weaver?
Romeo always played the old cliche bend but don't break, and then last year they bent and broke, especially down the stretch. It was amazing when you think where they ranked in defense, 26 or worse in the 3 major categories of yards and then yards passing and rushing, and they were last in red zone touchdowns, and yet they still got to the second round of the playoffs and won the division again. And so I think that a lot of that wasn't Crennel, it was the talent. Brian traded Clowney. They didn't have anybody replace him. Watson is half the season. Now they're relying on a lot of young players. And if indeed these young players like Charles Omenihu, an outside linebacker, Jacob Martin, outside linebacker, Duke Ejiofor, second-round pick, Ross Blacklock, if those guys happen to play better, that'd be great. They just got to be better. then it'll make Weaver look better. But if they don't get a pass rusher, not sacks, but just pressure on the quarterback, their secondary is going to get torched. I don't think the secondary is very good. And other than Justin Reed, I don't think they got another safety they can count on, although they obviously disagree because they took a guy named Eric Murray, who had been a part-time starter at Kansas City and Cleveland, signed him to $7 million a year. Now he's a starter opposite Reed, which tells me they got a problem with safety.
John McClain of the Houston Chronicle with us here on ESPN San Antonio. Broader NFL news, the owners tabled the idea of moving up in the draft for minority hires, but they did make a couple of changes to the rules to allow more opportunities, taking away some of the roadblocks. Any of the stuff that happened at the owners' virtual meeting the other day surprise you?
No, because it's a preposterous thing they were trying to get passed. Tony Dungy, Marvin Lewis, Anthony Lynn, none of them liked it. But what they did like is the fact that they're going to let position coaches interview for coordinator jobs, and you can't say no. I can't tell you how many times position coaches under contract get turned down for coordinators' jobs. Now, head coaches aren't going to like this. General managers aren't going to like this. But it gives everybody opportunity, whether you're a minority or you're not. And the idea is to help more minorities get interviews, to help them get more jobs. I think Rick Smith will be a general manager next year. I think Louis Riddick of ESPN, who's interviewed for a couple of jobs and keeps getting closer, I think he'll be a general manager too. But the thing that I like, they haven't voted on this, and they should. Don't reward incompetent teams by elevating the draft status if they hire a minority. The incompetence is already rewarded in the draft. Reward the teams with compensatory picks that lose minorities. That encourages them to hire and develop minority coaches and front office people. And then if they lose them, then they get compensatory picks. This thing about elevating your draft position if you hire a minority is preposterous.
You know, the thing about wisdom is you can't buy it. That is a great idea. Hadn't even considered the other side of the coin. John McClain of the Houston Chronicle joining us here on ESPN San Antonio. One last bit of news regarding the NFL meetings going on. It looks like they're going to vote on getting rid of the onside kick and going with what the Alliance essentially started about 2 years ago. You expect that to happen? The kickoff is going to be, or the idea of an onside kick going to be gone?
Yeah, I hate to see that because if you think it doesn't work a lot, but boy, at least you got a chance. They got to do something better than they did last year where you had no chance. An onside kick, when it gives you a chance at the end of the game, everybody gets fired up about it. And every once in a while, like Jimmy Johnson in the Super Bowl, Sean Payton in the Super Bowl, Bill Cowher in the Super Bowl, they pull one off and everybody gets hysterical because it's such a chance. And when it works, it's so exciting to see. So they do need to do something about it. And the thing is, going back to the thing about minority coaches, people aren't getting fired and hired right now, so there was no need to rush into anything. That's why they tabled it. They could approve it anytime. As long as they do it before the end of next season, they'll be in good shape.
You know, when in kind of circling back on the onside kick idea, one of the comments that I saw earlier with the idea of the 4th and 15 is if you're down 14 points in the fourth quarter, you shouldn't need a couple of gimmick plays to be able to go win a game. At that point, you don't deserve the win. But 4th and 15 is so hard, and we saw that in the Alliance. You saw that in the XFL. Do you think it really changes much other than giving teams a fair chance at getting back into a game?
I got a feeling that if they do that, they'll have as much chance of converting 4th and 15 as they would of getting past defensive pass interference call last year under the rule as it was written and now has been abolished. It's going to be rare.
He is John McClain of the Houston Chronicle. Make sure you're following him on Twitter and catching him here every Thursday afternoon at 5:15. John, stay safe. It's always a pleasure catching up. Look forward to talking next Thursday afternoon.
Bob and Jason, thank you guys very much. I appreciate it as always. I hope you stay safe too. Thank you very much.
John McClain of the Chronicle. And boy, I look forward to Thursday afternoons every week. A couple of things about the coordinators, Jason. We hope that we see more explosive offense. Do you think as the season goes on, especially that tough first couple of games that Texans go through, that Obes is going to be awfully conservative to start the season and maybe lessen the reins on his new OC as the season goes on?
You're talking about Bill O'Brien, right? I mean, honestly.
So are they punting on first down now? Like, what's going on? How much more conservative?
Could you get more conservative as a head coach? I hope that Bill O'Brien on a daily watches that Kansas City playoff game over and over again. When he was conservative, what happened? When he tried to be a risk taker, what happened? Honestly, Bill O'Brien.
Hope springs eternal. You know what I mean? Maybe. I will say this. Give up.
The only thing that you're going to see is with social distancing, Tim Kelly knows that O'Brien has to be 6 feet away from him. So maybe he can roll in a play call, and before Bill O'Brien can turn around and see what's happening, the play's already going to be gone. That's your only hope if you're Tim Kelly, unless he really does say, dude, it would have to almost be that Cal McNair, and again, I say this knowing exactly what I'm talking about. It would be what if Cal McNair does what Jerry Jones did to Jason Garrett. Tim Kelly, this is your offense. When Jerry did that with Scott Linehan, Jason, you're the offensive genius, but you know what? Stay out of the room. This is Scott Linehan's offense. Unless something like that happens. And I don't see Bill O'Brien telling Tim Kelly that on his own. But I could see Cal McNair saying, Tim Kelly, your offense, you're responsible for it. Bill O'Brien, shut up. That would be make him more the walk-around coach. All those terms we used with Jason Garrett when the offense was given to Scott Linehan and the defense was given to Rod Marinelli, and Jason Garrett developed the clapper.
You can't be immune to the press. You'd like to think that Obes, can suffer the slings and arrows of the idiocy that he's been accused of with all the deals that he's either ruined or imposed on the Texans and others. Maybe he's realizing that some of his strong points he's giving up. You'd like to think that maybe some of the weak points, he's given up. Like, I just know I get too involved in the game to call it very well. I'm giving that up. But I'm pulling Romeo Crennel off this thing, and I'm going to have another young voice doing that just so we get some new perspective from some different voices, because obviously what we've done over the last couple of years has worked to an extent, but it's not championship level effort. That's where I'm kind of headed with this. I'm just curious if we believe Obes is headed that direction or not.
I would like to believe that. I have a hard time believing that. I think about Mike McCarthy and his press conference with the Dallas Cowboys said it took a year off for him to reflect. And I think about what Jermichael Finley told us here on the Blitz that, long before we knew McCarthy wasn't going to be the play caller, Jermichael Finley came on the Blitz to talk about McCarthy and said, it damn near killed him. I don't think that he will do it this time. But when you're in it, and you're trying to fix something, hard to say, you know what, you go fix it. The ego that it takes to play in the NFL is the same as the ego that it takes to coach in the NFL. And you have to get to a certain point on the ladder to say, you know what, you do this, you do that. Sean Payton is at the point where he could do that. A Bill Belichick, certainly a Greg Popovich type. But Bill O'Brien is still a young coach that always seems like he's trying to prove himself. And, every post-game press conference, he tells everybody that he didn't do a very good job and that he has to do a better job. And at some point, his boss is going to hear that and go, well, maybe we should get somebody else, because I hear this seemingly 15 times a year that he's got to do a better job. But he doesn't talk about how I've got to let my guys do this because they're better at it than I am.
When we come back, Tom Brady, for a guy that's private, is certainly in the news an awful lot. He'll sell you a supplement. He'll play quarterback for you. He'll tell you how to powder your butt. And he's got his own series coming up about his Super Bowl wins. We're going to talk about Tom Brady and the media mogul that he is becoming and the dry hands that he will have as he has taught his center how to powder his butt and keep his hands dry. Talking Brady next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you need a mask, go see Sam over at Sammy's Embroidery Club on San Pedro. Sam is open and he has masks. Bars get to open up tomorrow, or some are opening tonight at midnight. Restaurants at 50% capacity. You have your employees there that all are required to wear a mask, and you as the boss, you have to get them. He's got those washable, reusable cloth masks, and you know what else Sam can do? He can put your company logo right on the mask. So if you're in any kind of business and you think about your logo on a polo, now you can get your logo right on a mask. Get in and see Sam. He can get that done for you, whether it's for your business, for you, for your family members. He does have those cloth masks available, as well as medical masks. Surgical medical masks, KN95. Sam has them. Disposable surgical masks that are certified and FDA approved. Sam has those. So if you're in the medical field and you're needing to get those medical masks, dentist's office, doctor's office, urgent care centers, hospitals, call Sammy's Embroidery Club, 210-824-3900. Sam has been supplying masks for the city, the county, surrounding counties, even the state of Illinois, because he is an approved vendor. He is your source to get your mask. And also, it's Sammy's Embroidery Club. You need your logo on gear, go see Sam. You're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live right now. The shirt I'm wearing with the ESPN San Antonio logo on it, it's from Sam. You need a shirt like that. You need uniforms done. You need hats. Go see Sam at Sammy's Embroidery Club. They're on San Pedro. That massive showroom is just a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's. Check the website, samsembroidery.com. You know, nobody has better prices. Sammy has all the big name brands. All items do come with a warranty, and you work with Sam on your project. He's the owner, and he's by his phone right now. 210-824-3900 is the number. 824-3900 for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
ESPN San Antonio's Dad's Distance in Dough, presented by Southern Recipe Small Batch. Enter to win now at ESPNSA.com and give Dad the best gift ever. The chance at $1,000, plus a year's supply of Southern Recipe Small Batch pork rinds.
At Advance Auto Parts, we want to make sure your vehicle is ready to roll when you are. So when it's time to get back on the road, we offer free battery testing and installation with batteries starting at just $79.99. And right now, you can do your part to help a community hero stay on the road. Visit advanceautoparts.com to nominate someone who deserves our support, and you could each win $1,000. Advance your auto at Advance Auto Parts and participating CarQuest locations.
Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Nobody beats our prices on high-quality performance window tint and expert installation. It's essential to protect yourself and your family from the sun's hot rays and car thieves. Save $100 off regular winter prices when you purchase the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm package. This is a deal. Save $100 off our regular winter prices now at the start of summer. Limited to stock on hand. For 36 years, Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special. Want to make your car go thump, 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 mother thump? Premium car stereos on sale. Sony, Kicker, JVC, JBL, Diamond, Kenwood, Memphis Audio, all on sale. GPS, remote start systems, all on sale. Save $100 on the Mother's Window Tint and Alarm Special. Nobody beats the low prices at Mother's Window Tint, your car, stereo, and auto security headquarters. Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special. Remember, do it at Mother's and save.
Tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops with their Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd through the 25th. All Nike golf shoes are 25% off. Score an epic deal on Callaway's Epic Flash Driver, now only $349. Save big with the G400 driver, now only $249. Remember, the more you buy, the more you save, and receive up to 25% off all apparel. Edwin Watts Golf Shops Memorial Day sale happening May 22nd and May 25th. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving golfers since 1968.
O'Reilly. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $28.95 and get a $10 O'Reilly gift card after mail-in rebate. You can even order at O'ReillyAuto.com and we'll deliver it curbside. Protect your engine from sludge and wear at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Redbox has top entertainment when you need it most. Watch Margot Robbie take us into the twisted mind of Harley Quinn. Don't miss Birds of Prey. Working apart from the Joker, Harley Quinn teams up with Black Canary, Huntress, and Detective Montoya to stop a brutal killing from Black Mask, Gotham City's most ruthless crime lord. Let Redbox bring you together, because connection is everything. Now more than ever, make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch. Prices may vary by location, subject to applicable taxes. Additional terms at redbox.com.
It is the Blitz. And the Blitz is brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm, an experienced personal injury attorneys, but a phone call away. If you're dealing with an insurance company after a car wreck, either theirs or yours, you don't have an attorney, you're going to come in on the short end of the stick. Jason Thompson will represent you face-to-face. Won't be another lawyer. It'll be him. The number to remember, 210-900-0400, or go to alawyer4us.com for more details. Tom Brady continues to make the news, and it's ironic that we get the story that we have today after the conversation we had yesterday regarding Dak Prescott and the opportunity for him to start playing with a brand-new center after Travis Frederick retired and all the adjustments that you have to make. Well, Tom Brady is going through that right now down in Tampa as he's begun to work out with his offense there at a local high school. And we get news yesterday that Tom had to teach his center how to powder his butt so Tom's delicate hands don't get all sweaty.
Well, so Ryan Jensen is the Tampa Bay center, and he actually put on social media a picture of it's Tom wearing his practice orange, which is still kind of weird seeing that, and even Tom in the Buccaneers uniform or helmet. I don't know that I was quite ready for that. I can only imagine how a Patriot fan feels. But there's a photo of Jensen and Brady is folding a towel. And Ryan Jensen writes, quote, "First you fold the towel once, then over itself again. Put it down your crack and douse in baby powder. No more ass sweat." Unquote, at Tom Brady, hashtag sweat medication 101. Clearly, this is something that Tom Brady's very passionate about. He's got a skill to
as
stop
I would be
sweat.
too.
Well, I mean, again,
I think we all would.
I mean, how do you eat a sandwich after football practice if your center's got issues? I mean, let's just say there's not enough soap that's going to take care of that.
Now, I have a question. Does the towel stay or go?
I'm going to guess that it goes, because you
Okay,
can't walk
just-
around what I think what it's designed to do is very scientifically get baby powder where you don't want to put your hands.
Okay, gotcha. And evidently, he's had sweat issues in the past. I'm reading the story. He's actually tried to train his body not to sweat.
Well, not him. That was Tom Brady's old center up there in New England.
Tom Brady guilted his old center so much that the dude tried to learn to control his butt sweat by sitting in a sauna.
Dude, there's a lot of centers and a lot of quarterbacks that have had issues. I mean, this is not a new story. It is something that is, I even know high school football players. I mean, I think that's why they invented shotgun, was because somebody was like, dude, I can't put my hands up there and get a snap properly. Just hike it back to me.
I got questions.
All right. Hang on. Before you ask, if there is a guy out there that has played center or has played quarterback, 656 ESPN, 656-3776. I don't care if you were in the NFL, Tommy Kramer. I don't care if you're a high school coach that was a quarterback, Danny Closa. If you played quarterback and you understand what we're talking about, they can answer Rob's questions here, because Rob isn't the only one with questions. We know you've got them as well.
Lots of questions. I come from a family of palm sweaters. That, you ever known people sweaters that have sweaty palms, just like puddles of. I've got some my family members. I don't want to name anyone in particular. My sister Robin, who has the sweatiest hands you've ever seen, to the point where there's like drops of hand sweat wherever she puts her. I mean, it's awful. But she got it fixed with basically the stuff that you use for Botox. I don't know if she rubbed it on or whatever, but it stopped or at least slowed the palm sweat. Could that be an opportunity to fix? Could we use some Botox on the centers of the asses of centers around the NFL to stop the butt sweat in this terrible pandemic that so many quarterbacks have had to deal with over the years?
I can understand, getting some Botox somewhere in your wrist area that will help your hands. You can't Botox your butt cheeks, man. You ever seen a woman with Botox on her face? You can't do that to your butt.
Your ass would look 10 years younger.
I think there's some benefits here.
I'm just thinking, there could also be some unintended consequences if you can't.
I'm not
flex.
talking about around the outdoor. I'm not talking about right around the outdoor. I'm talking about the patio.
I'm just saying, man. I think there needs to be some movement capabilities down there for a variety of reasons.
And you'd think with Tom Brady's supplement company, his scientists would be actively working on a prescriptive medicine to stop the ass sweat from the centers that he has. You'd think he'd have those $1 million scientists in the TB12 bubble that is the supplement company, and he'd have that fixed.
I think you want those scientists working on things that could get you a good ROI. And I don't know that there's enough centers out there to get you a good ROI when they're focusing on, curing viruses, based on what we heard yesterday.
Their priorities are way out of whack. Let me tell you that.
If you're going into business, do you want to, a very small amount of people have this issue?
Well, the way I look at it is I got 32 multi-millionaires who have a common problem. I only have to hit a couple of them for a fair amount of money, and I might work out okay. It's a business model kind of thing. I don't have to sell to everybody, but those that I do sell got to have some deep pockets.
Who is going to be the one that buys the butt sweat preventer? Is it going to be the center, or is it going to be the quarterback? See, my guess is the quarterback is the one who has issue with the butt sweat, not the center.
So it depends on how caring the center is. If he really is a true teammate and he's concerned about the health and odor of his quarterback's right hand.
The quarterback does have the deepest pocket.
You might be onto something here, Rob, because where's that Southwest Research Institute out there? They could, because this isn't just an issue for centers. We've seen basketball players in white shorts have some issues that are related to butt sweat. So I do think that you might be able to expound on this some.
We've all been there. I remember Bobby Hurley having to run off of a national championship game, or there would have been an issue. We've all been there. We've all come around. Real quickly, we did get.
I cannot believe we have not heard from a quarterback on this.
They don't want to get their hand too close to their phone. We did hear today that not after practice.
That's why they invented AirPods.
Is going to drop a series on ESPN from his production company starting next year individually about his 9 Super Bowls. And we're going to get a last dance thing from Tom Brady for the Super Bowl chases, which I think we're all excited about. But do you find it odd he's doing this while he's still playing?
I do, although I don't, because we know he started the production company, and it's something 199 Productions because he was the 199th draft pick. We know that he talked a lot about Kobe Bryant about starting the own production company, and it's 20 years in New England. That part is over. It is odd that he's still doing this while still playing, because maybe he realizes he isn't going to win a Super Bowl there in Tampa Bay. But when he's got all the footage, all the Hollywood types with nothing else to do right now can go through all of that footage, and they've already put together one pretty amazing trailer.
Realizing my potential has been what my career's been all about. Things that I've dreamed about have actually come true.
Shut up. Keep it to yourself.
Giselle. I dreamed about that.
In my life.
It happened.
As I kind of hoped it would happen. It's been, I mean, just a complete evolution. You know, how I just kept kind of fighting and clawing to continue to power forward. You just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you keep trying to make progress. So when I look at over 20 years, I mean, look how far I've come. But there's not one step that I took where I realized, look how far I've come. But those series of steps that I put together, I go, wow, that's quite a journey.
Yes,
dude, you're still on it. It's not done. You're still playing.
Well, the New England part is done.
That seems, I'm a Brady. I'm not a Brady apologist, but I understand that Brady's the GOAT. I will begrudgingly say it because it's in fact true. It is what it is. But what a massive freaking ego this guy has, man. This guy, we were laughing at Aldon Smith, the big hairy ass American winning machine. Tom Brady, dude, you need an extra helmet for that ego. Seriously? Dun, 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 dun. And I never thought that I'd be rubbing suntan lotion on my Brazilian supermodel wife after I was suspended for Deflategate. I showed them, and that was just one step in the journey. Dude, okay, you're living the dream. We all know it. All right. At least Michael had to suffer. At least Michael got food poisoning. Brady didn't even get that. He's truly an angel.
We don't know. I mean, maybe there'll be some bad pizza in the Tom Brady story. I mean, he does have 3 Super Bowl losses that are going to be a part of this journey. It's a 9-part docuseries. I'm surprised he went 9 because Jordan was 10. But there'll be 10. It is 1 for each Super Bowl. Doesn't say if they're going to be an hour or not. He is going to have all the creative input, just like Michael Jordan did. This isn't necessarily about Tom Brady's ego. This is all about business. He is going to make a buttload of money, so much that he could wipe sweat with it by putting this thing together. And it, quite frankly, will put his production company on the map.
I hope. We'll see. I'm not sure how much. It seems awfully self-serving, and obviously it will be. It's his production company. It's his story as told by Tom Brady, just like Michael Jordan's was pretty self-serving.
Are you going to watch?
Yes. Dude, I think I probably will. I'm not sure I could sit through 9 episodes of the greatness of Tom Brady. I can tell you that. I think I can figure it out after the first 1 or 2. I think I'll get the gist of the story, that you faced a tremendous adversity while you had the greatest coach in the last 50 years in the NFL and one of the greatest tight ends who ever set foot on the field. Yeah, you were great. I understand. And you had a terrible amount of adversity playing in that AFC division that never offered any kind of a fight at all, that you got bye weeks every year. It was tremendously adverse.
Who was this toughest quarterback competition there in the AFCs? Was it Mark Sanchez, the dirty there for a while?
I think it was Tyrod Taylor. I think Tyrod Taylor will go down as the second best quarterback of the Tom Brady era up there. And when we got back, we got to a lot, man. We got so much to get into. We're running a little bit late. I don't know if you guys have heard in the 6 o'clock hour, there is subterfuge going on in San Antonio high school football. We've had a couple of really interesting transfers go on the high-end schools here in San Antonio. Judson played a role, Brandeis played a role, and Cornerstone's involved with this too. This is an interesting story that's hit San Antonio. But when we get back, what's on tap? It's that time of the week. We'll tell you what to stream as we come into the weekend next here on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
You know, in the month of May, Alamo Water Softeners wants to honor frontline heroes with a major discount on a new water softener. It's their way of saying thank you. So if you work in healthcare, at a grocery store, you're a first responder, or any business that's on the front lines, call Alamo Water Softeners at 210-274-6122 and ask them about their Frontline Heroes discount. Having a water softener in San Antonio is not a luxury item. It is a necessity because we have some of the hardest water in the country. I highly recommend Alamo Water Softeners. I've had one at my house for years. At the old house, when I moved into this new house in January, the very first thing we had installed was the new water softener from Alamo Water Softeners, and they're a great locally owned family-run business. The Townsends are from here. They started the company here, and they love supporting our San Antonio community. And you know, clean, soft water is a key part of us getting through COVID-19. At Alamo Water Softeners, not only will you get soft water when you get a new water softener, softener from Alamo Water Softeners, but you're going to save money. It will double the life of your appliances. You'll see a 20 to 30% savings on energy used by your water heater. 210-274-6122 is the number. When you call them, mention my name, Jason Minix, and you'll receive free basic installation. You'll also get a free reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of select new Alamo Water Softeners. And don't forget to ask about the Frontline Heroes discount. Remember the Alamo Water Softeners, 210-274-6122 or alamowatersofteners.com.
Never get left out of the conversation. Tweet the show on the Maddie McMurphy's Irish Sports Bar Twitter feed at ESPN_SM.
That's my bad. I was sending a tweet.
1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
Now's the time to get the new Kubota Z200 mower. It's built to cut quickly and like a pro, so you can get the zero-turn agility and effortless precision you need to turn your lawn into a work of art. Right now, get the Kubota Z200 mower for 0 down and 0% APR for 48 months, now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for more info.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas for over 70 years, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
At AutoZone, we've always been here to help you get what you need to go where you need. That hasn't changed. Needing some battery help? We've got you. Whether it's a free battery test or a free charge, we can help you get started again. And if it's time for a replacement, we've got a full selection of batteries starting at $79.99. That's why we're America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Based on data from the MPD Group Incorporated, Car Care Track, 12 months ending December 2019.
This is the sound of Jeff's first ever low and slow Applewood smoked pork shoulder. And this
Yes.
is the sound he made when it fell right off the bone. Yeah, are you okay there, Jeff?
It's beautiful.
Backyard grilling leaves the best marks. Kingsford. For recipes and inspiration, visit kingsford.com.
The Blitz with Jason and Rob want to let you know what's on tap. Brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint.
What's on Tap is always brought to you by Sam's Burger Joint as you've joined ESPN San Antonio. If you're just arriving, if you've been with us for a bit, you know we bring it to you every Thursday afternoon. The weekend spreads before us. We like to tell you about all those live shows that are going on Sam's Burger Joint and all those great local venues that will be open soon, we hope. But until then, we're offering you the very best in free streaming around the intertube world. And tonight, Katy Perry's going to live stream on radio.com a special at-home performance. I understand she's got a new record coming out.
Huh. All right. Well, that Katy Perry, huh?
There you go. Luckily, your daughter's outgrown the need for you to go buy concert tickets to go see Katy Perry. So you got that going for you.
I got to admit, I went and saw Katy Perry one time. I didn't want to go. It was an incredible show. I'm so glad I went. I'd go see Katy Perry again.
So she was a firework, huh?
That was absolutely pun intended. You've got that Usher alongside Jermaine Dupri and somebody else will be performing on Verizon's weekly streaming entertainment series, Pay It Forward Live, that supports small businesses suffering through the pandemic. They're going to take the virtual stage at 7 o'clock on Verizon's Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube pages.
Usher.
You know, Usher. That sounds like a lot of the Atlanta types. Blake Shelton, Gwen Stefani, One Republic. Who won The Voice? Blake Shelton. Who won? Well, it was last night. It's kind of a big deal. Didn't we have a San Antonio girl that was like a finalist or something like that? If anybody knows, the Maddie McMurphy, our Sports Bar Twitter feed, who won The Voice? Or did our San Antonio girl? I have a feeling she didn't, or I heard about that.
Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani break up? Isn't this going to be a weird little concert?
No, they're married. They got babies. They're got babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're living the dream.
I had to stop watching that when Adam Levine left the show. It quit becoming a priority in my house.
I didn't know he'd left the show. Who took his place? Oh, John Legend took his place, right? I think John Legend did.
I don't know.
One Republic, Ellie Goulding, Steve Martin, and the Steep Canyon Rangers, Sam Smith, James Taylor, Megan Trainor, and Tina, The Tina Turner musical's Adrian Warren will perform for this year's Red Nose Special Day, which is going to be 9 o'clock on NBC. I guess the Red Nose is a is it for underprivileged kids? I think that's what it is for. That's on NBC tonight at 9 o'clock. The Overcoats, you know them. They're going to curate the fight for New York City in a collaboration with Amazon Music, an online fundraiser for the Association to Benefit Children. Overcoats, Porsches, Margaret Glaspie, Torres. I'm just naming words here. Are these bands?
I have no idea, man. I look at that one. I look at the next one that Pledge put on there. The one after that, I have no idea until I get down to the
You don't know
Red
Blue
Hot
the Tiger?
Huh?
You don't know Blue the Tiger?
No, but I know Red Hot Chili Peppers. They're going to be doing something from the vault at 7 o'clock tonight. Lollapalooza 2006. I'm down for that.
Oh, you skipped over Chick Corea and Ruben Blades and Greg Camp, Kate Cabrera.
I don't know what any. I don't know what any of that is.
You skipped over the Dewey Decibel System.
Again, I don't know what that is either.
Dewey Decibel System. They're doing a live stream.
Is that in the library?
Tomorrow, All Time Low, and we're about there on this show, will perform a live stream show to raise money for touring the crew. That'll be 4 o'clock Friday night or Friday afternoon. Catch it on twitter.com at the All Time Low /status and a whole bunch of numbers after that. Good luck finding that.
It's on ESPNSA.com.
Yeah, we are putting all this stuff on there. So if it's the stuff I don't know what it is and you do, it's going to be on there.
All Time Low is really good.
That's the webpage. /status /1260254741730213889. Did y'all get that?
Just go to All Time Low's Twitter.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. Pledge is just complicating things. Citizen Cope has a live stream. You can watch it at vip.citizencope.com/event.
Steve Earle, he of San Antonio fame, born here, will live stream Union God and Country at 3 o'clock. I guess you go to Steve Earle's Twitter following our webpage there.
YouTube.
And YouTube channel.
How about Saturday night? Sublime with Rome hosting and performing during a virtual barbecue to benefit Music Care's COVID Relief Fund. Kicks off at 5. You have to buy tickets to get this. It's a fundraiser there. How do they do a virtual barbecue? Do I get to virtually smell the brisket or go down and buy my own like at Augie's and bring it up there and eat brisket while I'm watching that?
I don't know. You want to tell me the website?
What is it?
The Google Sublime with Rome concert and then hit the link.
I have a feeling you will find it amongst others.
Nugs.tv. Yeah, that's. I don't know how you found it and what you were doing on Nugs TV, but I hope you didn't sweat too much,
dude. So we got the Doobie Decimal System and Nugs TV. Where are you searching for these shows? But I guess it is musicians, so I guess we should expect exactly
deep in the
where
weeds,
we are.
man.
Speaking of deep in the weeds, on Sunday, is this true? Bob Dylan's celebrating birthday? How old is Bob Dylan? Anybody have any idea? Bob Dylan's celebrating a birthday coming up on Sunday. He's going to have a big old show.
Is Bob Dylan still around?
Yeah. Birthday salute live stream presented by the State Theater of Ithaca. I thought he was still alive. Lots of performances there. Bob Dylan, he's an acquired taste, but once you get him, you get him. For those of you who are unaware of Todd Snyder's live stream will be What It Is, live from the Purple Building, 11 a.m. What It Is, live with Todd Snyder every 11. Todd broadcasts from his studio in Todd Snyder's from East Nashville?
No, that's probably where he's living now, but I can't imagine Todd Snyder's up on Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
That's the great thing about one of these recorded podcasts. You can,
well, it says
do them
live.
whenever you like.
Live at the Purple Building.
Live to tape, maybe? Who knows? It's from his house. We'll figure it out as we go. Hey, What's on Tap is brought to you every week by Sam's Burger Joint. And as we wait for local music to come back and perform live for us, just remember Sam's Burger Joint wide open when it does begin. Go to the website when the shows do begin to find out what's coming. That's samsburgerjoint.com. You got something, Jason?
Yeah, Sam's is. They open back up this week, 11 to 9. Their dining room is open. You can do takeout, delivery, curbside. They've got that great patio there. You can order online, but they posted music coming soon. But if you need one of their burgers, they are open. for a while they weren't doing the delivery. Their burger, they just weren't set up for it. But they are back open now and support Sam's Burger Joint.
Yeah,
78 years
local.
old, by the way.
Support at samsburgerjoint.com for that
Bob
menu
Dylan.
to make you hungry. Hey, when you go to Sam's, order a Blitz burger, but bring a friend because it's huge. We get back 6 o'clock hours, chock full of fun. We're talking Dak Prescott and the contract or lack thereof from the Dallas Cowboys. That includes $45 million in year 5. We'll talk about that and Pete Prisco's top 100 in the NFL. We got a lot to do, so stay with us on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
This Father's Day, we're celebrating Dad with more than a new tie. We're celebrating him with food to fuel his bold side. With the bold taste of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds, you can get them in-store, online at H-E-B. And now through Father's Day, when you download the coupon at southernrecipesmallbatch.com, you'll be entered to win 3 months of pork rinds. Go online for your coupon at southernrecipesmallbatch.com. Southern Recipe Small Batch. It's a different kind of rind.
Is your portfolio concentrated in the international markets, especially China? Hi, this is Darrell Lyons with Pax Financial Group. It could be time to have Pax Financial Group do a checkup on your portfolio. Also, if you were recently laid off, before you withdraw from your IRA, talk with Pax Financial Group. We will double check to make sure it's a good long-term decision. Call Pax Financial Group at 210-881-5700 or online at paxfinancialgroup.com.
Investment advisory and insurance services are offered by Pax Financial Group.
Things are moving again in our community. And like so many other local businesses, Diamonds Direct is now open. We're ready to get back to our mission of helping you celebrate your love like never before. Our showrooms are clean and we're taking all the necessary safety precautions. Our showcases are fully stocked. Our values and prices are better than ever, and our team is eager to serve. And starting this Friday, we're helping in a big way with our most aggressive finance offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down on any purchase. Yes, 60 months, 0 interest on anything. All certified diamonds, all designer rings, all fashion jewelry, all earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets. If you've had to delay that engagement or wedding or that anniversary or birthday celebration, Diamonds Direct is here to help. Starting Friday, you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. At Diamonds Direct, now more than ever, we know love is the most essential thing in our lives. So come see us and let us help you share that love with something she'll have forever. Diamonds Direct, open Memorial Day too. Get details, store hours, and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
Whether you're working remotely, taking web classes, binge watching TV, or gaming, Dell is here to help you find the right tech. From XPS and Alienware computers that are redefining what's possible with 10th gen Intel Core processors to the latest top brand electronics, our seamless tech solutions will help keep you connected. Plus, get free shipping. Call us today at 800-BY-DELL. That's 800-BY-DELL.
The folks at Odor Eaters want to express our deep appreciation for the healthcare professionals, first responders, and essential business employees who continue to do so much to take care of the rest of us. To all of you working harder and longer days, if our products can help make the days ahead a little more bearable, you can find them in stores and online at Walmart, Target, CVS, or other fine retailers. Thank you. Stay healthy and safe.
This is Stephen Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, 1250 ESPN San Antonio.
And 94.5 FM, where the pros play.
For everything Dallas Cowboys.
KCDC San Antonio. Jason Minnis, Rob Thompson, The Blitz.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM on the go at ESPNSA.com. You want to watch us live? Go to ESPNSA.com. Our YouTube channel is feeding directly to our website. You know, modern science, it's pretty impressive. If you're on the Facebooks, you can stay right there and kind of watch us right there. This hour, well, we got Dak Prescott talk. We got interesting story. In the Express News today, David Flores tells us about Judson players transferring to Cornerstone. It's a bold new world in high school football here in San Antonio, Texas. Lots of transfers over the last couple of weeks. We'll talk about what's going on with high school football. It's not good for public schools. This is not a good thing for anybody involved. We'll get into that at 6:30. But first, Dak Prescott. The tender offer hasn't been signed. The franchise tender hadn't signed it. He hadn't accepted any contract offers from the Dallas Cowboys. We know that July the 15th is the deadline. We understand that the idea of 4 or 5 years is what is in debate between the two parties. We heard from Chris Sims yesterday saying that if, in fact, the Dallas Cowboys were going to try to convince Dak to take a 5-year deal. But if he did, that 5th year, they'd load up an extra $10 million and pay him $45 million, making him the highest paid player in NFL history if he was to sign it. Everybody heard that and thought, well, how do you say no to that? Well, it might not actually be true. Both Dak Prescott's agent and the Dallas Cowboys have both come out saying, no offer, nothing like that has ever occurred, nothing to see here, move along, negotiations continue, but nothing had to do with a 5th year and $45 million. You believe it, Jason?
I don't know. I mean, on the surface, I think Chris Sims is full of it, right? But if you do the math, 4 years, 35 million, 5 years, 35 million, you add 10, so you're paying a little bit more to get that 5th year. All right, boys, if you want that 5th year, it's going to cost you more. The math works on what Chris Sims said. So I do believe somebody told him that. But then again, maybe he was listening to us and said, well, maybe that's what I don't know. I mean, it just kind of feels like, who was your source on that? Because then when you look at it, I do find it interesting, and maybe there might be a hint of something in there that could be true, because not only did the Cowboys come out and say, no, that's not true, so did Dak's agent. Dak's agent didn't say a word when it was reported it was a 4-year deal with 106 guaranteed that he turned down. We didn't hear anything then. In fact, we haven't heard from Dak's agent in a long time. But this report, he comes out and says, no, man, that's not true, which makes me wonder, why are we hearing from both the Cowboys and the agent this quickly that, no, that did not happen? I part of me says, well, maybe there was something in there.
He wants to renegotiate because there's going to be a new TV deal in place, and the expectation is the salary cap will be that much higher. And when he does, by the time we get there in 4 years, that the quarterback market will hover around $50 million, maybe $55 million a year after we get the Deshaun Watson contract out of the way and the Pat Mahomes contract out of the way and the next couple of superstars, because Tua will at that point be negotiating another contract. So you wonder what exactly would be the issue with $45 million, but we do know it would cost, it would be appropriate. I don't understand if, in fact, that was an offer made, that the Dallas Cowboys didn't own up to it. Like, yeah, that's exactly what we offered. And he said no. Evidently, the highest paid quarterback or player in the history of the NFL isn't enough for this middle of the pack quarterback.
Well, what Chris Sims didn't tell us, what is that guaranteed money, first off, because that's the important thing. And the other part there I call BS on Chris Sims. When was the last time you heard anybody wanting to backload their contract? If you're going to give me $45 million in the year, it's not going to be year 5. It's going to be year 1. Who backloads a contract? They're all front loaded, aren't they? So, there's some things there as you think about it that don't make a whole lot of sense. But the fact that both of them came out quickly to deny it makes me wonder if there was some truth to what Chris Sims had heard of what it would take to be a 5-year deal and what those guarantees would have to look like, which makes me wonder if that was a counter proposal that the agency put in, knowing damn well that the Joneses weren't going to take it. Because, if you're at 106 million guaranteed at 4 years, well, at 5 years, and you add another 45 million for that 5th year, wouldn't your guarantee now be around 120, 125? And if I'm the agency and I offer that, knowing that the Joneses are going to spit in their Cheerios when they see that, then you come back to, okay, we got to be around 110 or over 110 because that is what Jared Goff got in guarantee money. And so, your guarantee for Dak Prescott isn't 106 because that's less than Goff. It's going to be above 110. But for you add another 5 years on that, does that put that guaranteed money over 120, which obviously Jerry Jones doesn't want to do in setting the mark?
Dak Prescott, according to Pete Prisco, is the 46th best player in the NFL. He listed his top 100 yesterday. We'll talk about not only where Dak landed and the value that he presents in the entirety of the league, but the rest of the Cowboys too. There are 7 other Cowboys on the list. We'll look at the top 100 players in the NFL, according to CBS Sports Insider Pete Prisco, coming up here next. You're on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
The coronavirus has changed our lives. It shut down the tournament. It shut down the NBA. It's delayed baseball's opening day. When will our sports return? Get the latest right here. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
If you're a bacon lover, I've got great news for you. This is Michael Kilbasa with Kilbasa Smoked Meats. Our authentic dry-cured bacon is now available at grocery stores near you. We make it the old-fashioned way with the finest pork bellies and our legendary spice blend. We don't pump it full of water or chemicals like other brands. All you get is thick, savory slices of delicious bacon. I hope you'll give it a try, and if it's not the best bacon you've ever eaten, I'll give you your money back. Kilbasa Smoked Meats, slow-crafted in Texas since 1949.
Work at home. Work out at home. Second period math at home. Date night at home. Lately, we're doing a lot more at home, which means we're doing a lot less driving. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price based on driving behaviors and includes daily rates subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
We know staying in is a little easier when you can grill out. That's why Ace will help you get a great grill for your family from the best brands like Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Weber. And with your local Ace right in your neighborhood, we'll assemble and deliver your grill for free. Then, to make it even easier, we'll include free fuel to help you get grilling. The brands you love and the service you trust, only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members through May 31st on grills and accessories $3.99 and up. Propane tag not included. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Check us out live on Facebook, or you can go to ESPNSA.com. Our YouTube channel's right there front and center. I do want to remind everybody that Father's Day is around the corner, and we have your easiest opportunity to take care of your father and the rest of the family for an entire year. Go to ESPNSA.com, and you're going to see a contest we got for Father's Day. It is so easy to enter. You see Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds would like to offer you a year's supply of your pork rind, the best you can possibly get, and $1,000 can be won. You can enter through Facebook with your email address. We can't wait to have you go sign up and have yourself some Southern Recipe Small Batch, as we do on a regular basis here on the Blitz. Pete Prisco is a CBS football insider. Guy's one of those well-known types, and he traditionally offers us his top 100 players in the NFL. It dropped yesterday. There are 7 Dallas Cowboys sitting there. The highest ranked, of course, is, well, not I shouldn't say, of course, is Zeke Elliott. He comes in at number 17, which is appropriate. He's behind Christian McCaffrey there at the other running back. He's the second highest rated running back there but McCaffrey there at number 5. First of all, let's go back very quickly to Dak Prescott's thing. And it's one of those paradigms that is what it is, though most people don't understand why it is what it is. Dak Prescott is ranked by many as a middle-of-the-road quarterback, not a top 5, not even a top 10 in many ideas, but he probably is. But because his contract is up, he expects to be the highest-paid quarterback. Do you think the Cowboys are trying to break the paradigm of next up gets paid? Are they doing their best, even though it's not going to happen because the toothpaste is already out of the tube?
Toothpaste is out of the tube. I don't think they are. Pledge, can you put that comment back on the screen? On our Facebook live feed, Fred Caceres puts, if they sign him for that amount of $45 million, it would hurt the franchise. What if he gets hurt and has a career-ending injury? He'll be another Alex Smith. They should just leave him at the franchise tag, then trade him. He's not even in the top 15 of quarterbacks. That's part of the public issue that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott face, is where does Dak Prescott rank? As we get ready to tell you about Prisco's top 100 players in the NFL, Dak Prescott, while he is ranked, 46, right?
Yeah,
the only
46
quarterbacks, the only quarterbacks ranked ahead of him, Pat Mahomes at number 1, is the number 1 overall player on the list. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and then you've got Dak Prescott. I mean, the only quarterbacks ranked higher than Dak Prescott are Mahomes, Wilson, Lamar, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. And Lamar is on that list after one incredible RG3 kind of year. Will Lamar be able to put years like that together consistently over the next 4, 5, 6, 8 years? It remains to be seen. I'm a believer in Lamar Jackson, but, Mahomes has an MVP and a Super Bowl, and the rest of them are all destined for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but still, those guys are better, and they've earned it. I mean, he's still a middle-of-the-road quarterback. I mean, he is the best. I was listening to
That's
Levitard
not middle
earlier.
of the road. That's top 10.
But top 10. But would you rather be the best of the second or the worst of the best? Because I think he's the best of the seconds. He's not those guys, but he's more like the other guys. But he wants to be paid like those guys, more than those guys. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why the public is upset because, quite frankly, he's not better than Mahomes. He's not better than Russell Wilson. Lamar Jackson, that's up for debate. We'll see what happens. But Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady, and you're going to come to me and say, you deserve that much for 4 years so you can renegotiate even again more? I can see why we're headed toward this critical mass, and the Cowboys, they're going to pay him. But at some point, some team's going to go, that's it. I'm done. We're out.
Well, but again, though, Goff, who had the most money, Carson Wentz, who's
not
already
on the list.
Already. Now, I mean, so when you talk about middle of the road, I mean, Dak Prescott ahead of all those guys that already have contracts like that, and it's because of the timing. When they didn't have to do Wentz when they did his, and I wonder if Philadelphia maybe regrets it. Same with Goff. You look at Derek Carr and the amount of money that he signed for. When he signed for it, it's because timing. It's all about the timing. But when you talk about Dak Prescott being a middle-of-the-road quarterback, he is in the same company, according to Pete Prisco, on his, if you were just to take all the top 100 players out and just rank quarterbacks, he is in the company with all those guys that have Super Bowls. And then, of course, you got Lamar Jackson.
By the yardage alone last year, he's in that category. I don't think anybody's questioning output. And I think the one thing he's missing is a couple of playoff wins where he does something extraordinary, and all this conversation goes away. Because we don't throw Wentz into that anymore because he got him into the playoffs and played extraordinarily MVP-type football before he got hurt. Goff got him to a Super Bowl. Didn't win it, but he got him there. So, yeah, he's in the same company, but they still have more sticks than he does. They still got a little bit more cred than he does because Dak hasn't done it yet. And those guys got paid and performance dropped. Things weren't the same. So I can see the debate inside the Cowboy land. Is he the quarterback of the Cowboys? Absolutely is. Is he the quarterback of the future? Absolutely is. But at some point, you got to go, you're just not worth it. You're just not. You're the best of the seconds. And if I could have a middle of the seconds or the worst of the firsts and for a little bit less, I'd rather have that.
You're talking about the quarterback, the one position that you have to pay. They didn't have to pay Zeke. You can win without a dominant running back, but it's hard to win without a great quarterback. You might point to a Joe Flacco or a Trent Dilfer, ironically, both with Baltimore when they took their teams to Super Bowls. But in reality, without a franchise quarterback, it is hard to go win a championship. They believe.
Isn't the argument that Dak is Joe Flacco? That Dak is an average quarterback, that he's lightning to strike to carry a team in like it happened for Flacco and Dilfer?
I think the consistency over the years, he's been the starter with what he has done yardage-wise. His rookie year, he wouldn't make a mistake, so he didn't throw a whole lot of interceptions. But, I think Dak has proven himself on the field to be worthy of getting the next big contract. And, if you think you can let Dak walk and get somebody and start over with the investment that Jerry Jones has already put into this team, signing offensive linemen, signing Zeke, signing Amari Cooper, Tank Lawrence. They're not going to go with the training wheeled quarterback at this point. They have to sign him. He's got the Cowboys over the barrel. Dak Prescott has all the leverage.
Well, there is an Andy Dalton. There is a current starting quarterback with a lot more wins under his belt than Dak has. Been a winning quarterback for a decade.
Would you be more excited about this team and the possibility of going and winning a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay if they were to announce today that, screw Dak Prescott, he's gone, we've rescinded the offer, he's not on our team, we're going to ride with Andy Dalton? Are you telling me you'd be more excited about the potential of winning a Super Bowl with Andy Dalton as the starting quarterback on day one?
If I knew that I was going to have to pay Dak Prescott $180 million over the next 4 years that would preclude me from gathering any more talent, it is certainly a worthy conversation to have. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think it's a conversation that is worthy of having because, my God, we're talking about 20% by the time this happens of the salary cap going to one dude. We've seen what happens. Look at what happened to the Rams. They've divested as fast as they could because they couldn't afford to keep him.
And same thing. I mean, the Seahawks haven't been to a Super Bowl since they paid Russell Wilson. I mean, so all that is there. You also have an owner in Jerry Jones who would give his left, to get another Super Bowl while he is still alive. He is going to pay Dak Prescott. He is not going to start over, especially with what they already have invested in this team.
There's a former Super Bowl MVP or a former NFL MVP and Super Bowl quarterback that's just sitting out there waiting.
Well, I mean, Aldon Smith hasn't played in 5 years, so why not get his old teammate in that? But no, that ain't going to happen.
The idea of paying him, I know it strains the GMs of the NFL looking at the money that they have to pay. Everybody's trying to find one guy that will stand up and say, no, we're not going to do it. Washington tried. Franchised. He ended up getting paid with Minneapolis. We'll see what happens with the Dak Prescott and the money that's rolling in. Prisco, by the way, Pat Mahomes has immediately ascended as the best player in the NFL over what has been a couple of seasons, and we see Aaron Donald coming in at second. I find it very interesting that Aaron Donald continues to be listed at second. That defense was kind of a sieve last year. You wonder, individual talent doesn't always transfer on that defensive line.
No, and again, I mean that's why the Texans have let certain people walk because you can't pay two. You can't spend too much on the defense because you got to pay for your quarterback. I mean, it all comes down to pay. I mean, if they weren't going to pay Dak, Clowney might be a Cowboy right now, but they can't have Clowney and Dak Prescott getting that kind of money. Russell Wilson, third. Michael Thomas at 4 is a bit of a surprise. Christian McCaffrey, 5. Gilmore, the defensive back from the Patriots, at 6. Lamar Jackson, 7. Chandler Jones, linebacker from Arizona, is at 8. Khalil Mack at 9. Aaron Rodgers, number 10 on Prisco's list.
All greats for sure. My goodness. When we get back, Judson lost a couple of dudes after picking up a transfer in the last couple of weeks. What's going on in the local high school football scene as Cornerstone is starting to do a little recruiting? We'll talk about it next here on the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
We're number 1 on Kate Upton's presets.
Okay, we probably are.
But how awesome would that be?
Yes, I was.
Hi, Kate. San Antonio sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM.
All day, every day.
I'm James Pledger, and in the NFL, ESPN and NFL Network insiders Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport have recently shot down Chris Sims' report from earlier this week of a $45 million fifth year for Dak Prescott's contract extension. Schefter tweeted today, quote, to clarify any recent speculation on Dak Prescott's contract negotiations, there have been no discussions on other scenarios other than the Cowboys wanting a longer deal and Prescott wanting a shorter deal, per source, end quote. While Rap Sheet tweeted, quote, according to the team side and Dak Prescott's agent, the report from Chris Sims is definitely not true. The two sides have never discussed such scenarios or anything like it. Dak wants a shorter deal. The Cowboys want a long one. July 15th is the deadline, end quote. In other Cowboy news, pass rusher Aldon Smith was officially reinstated. Dallas signed him to a one-year, $2 million deal at the beginning of April, and the 30-year-old Smith has 47.5 career sacks through 59 games in 5 seasons, but hasn't played since being suspended back in 2015. The Cowboys are still awaiting word on their other suspended pass rusher, Randy Gregory, who's currently going through the league's reinstatement process. In college football news, the NCAA has voted for activities to resume as football and men's and women's basketball can begin voluntary activities starting June 1st, as reported by Yahoo Sports. Final say, though, will come down to individual teams and conferences. I'm James Pledger for ESPN San Antonio.
At Sprint, we understand saving money for your family is now more important than ever. That's why we're offering our best unlimited deal. Switch and get 4 lines of unlimited for just $100 a month. That's right, 4 lines for $100. Plus, the plan includes Hulu, 500 megabytes of mobile hotspot, DVD quality streaming, and more. If that's not enough, we're throwing in 4 Samsung Galaxy phones on us. And now, Sprint customers enjoy access to expanded coverage on the T-Mobile network. Shop from the comfort of your home at Sprint.com. Call 800-SPRINT-1 or come see us in our stores. Phone after $35.42 per month credit for 18 months credit. Apply within 2 bills. If canceled early, remaining balance due. Unlimited basic after $731.21. Pay $35 per month per line with autopay. Data deprioritization during congestion. Coverage and offer not available everywhere. Excludes taxes, fees, and roaming. Speed maximums, use rules, $30 activation fee, and restrictions apply.
It's time to get to the yard. It's time to get outside and make it amazing. To get to the grass in the sunny afternoons. It's the season to get your backyard ready for action. To get the lawn lush and green and get rid of those pesky patches. It's easy to make your lawn better than ever with Scott's. Because even though this year may feel different, the best things never change. So let's get to it. This is your season. Time to enjoy it. Scott's. Get to the yard.
This is Dr. Arakaki from the Universal Men's Clinic. During these challenging times, it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle and address medical conditions that could impact your well-being. For nearly a decade, we have specialized in treating ED and low T with customized treatment programs to create a high success rate. For your convenience, we now offer telemedicine appointments. You can now safely and easily connect with our medical team anywhere you have internet using your phone, tablet, or computer. We're so confident we can medically improve your ED or low T, we will refund your money if we do not. We remain committed to serving as your trusted medical partner, and you can be confident in making Universal Men's Clinic your first option for ED and low T treatment. We guarantee it.
If you need to contact us, call Universal Men's Clinic at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
You get a contract. You get a contract. You get a contract.
And when you're done, you'll get a TV gig. That's what it's like to be a Dallas Cowboy. Welcome back to the Blitz. Jason and Rob with you. Over the last, well, I'll say 5 years, the debate about public school football versus private football factories has really grown in the state of Texas. Heck, we've already seen it happen here in San Antonio a couple of times. Kellen Mond leaves, heads over to the IMG Academy in pursuit of, more name recognition and recruiting and improved skill sets. Well, now the football factories come to San Antonio, Cornerstone, and that's well documented what Cornerstone has been over the last 25 years in San Antonio. They've been a bit of an outlaw program. They've gotten in trouble for recruiting and having overage basketball players. If those of y'all that remember the Nahara episodes back in the late 80s, early 90s, so we know what Cornerstone is, and they have rebirthed their football program to be a national one. Well, they have pulled a couple of transfers from Judson. Now we're getting to the meat of the matter. Judson losing players is unheard of. They are the football factory. They're the destination. They're the place you want to be, as we've seen before. And now they're starting to lose them to Cornerstone. I bet there are public school coaches across this city with the door closed cursing Cornerstone's name right now.
Well, and that's not anything new when it comes to Cornerstone and their ability to recruit. It is surprising, though, that Judson will lose a couple of guys. David Flores at KENS5.com has an interesting article about two Judson starting defensive players from a year ago that were sophomores going into their junior year that are transferring to Cornerstone, and at least the third Judson player to go there. So one of the problems that this whole transfer thing, like we read this a couple of weeks ago, Jordan Battles, the talented quarterback from Brandeis, is transferring to Judson. Now, if you know Jordan's longtime story, his mother passed when he was young. His dad apparently works at Amazon, and it's just closer, so they're moving over there. If that's the story that they're going with, all right. A couple of years ago, Mike Chandler was the quarterback at Johnson. He decided to transfer to Judson. The domino effect, the Judson quarterback to be, then ended up at Cornerstone. And now he's convinced two of his old Judson teammates to join him over there. And it's interesting when you read the KENS 5 article, safeties Alan Carrecho and Mizell Miller, top, quality players. We're going to be some of the better junior players this coming season in the San Antonio area. They're getting in with Lucas Coley, who was at Judson and transferred. And this guy is getting offers all over the place. And I know, Ray Filio over there at Cornerstone and his QB Academy and everything they do. Lucas is going to play big time college football. And because they've got a player like that. Remember a couple of years ago, it was all about Booty. Well, when Booty left, Coley took his place. That's getting more and more players to go. It is surprising that you're seeing the transfers from Judson. I've heard that there are some guys at Johnson, and of course, they just had a coaching change that are going to end up at Cornerstone. We've seen them go from Lee and Reagan and all the other schools, but Judson doesn't lose players. This is big.
Because Judson has the notoriety. Coaches beat the path to Judson High School to recruit. There's not a single Division I Power 5 scout for any conference that has not come through the Judson offices. So the belief has always been you don't need to leave Judson. They're already coming to you. But for them to lose to Cornerstone, which, by the way, they are what they are. They have never disguised or tried to say we are just like you guys. They want to be a national program. TAPS threw them out because of what they want to be. That's fine.
They have been thrown out of TAPS 3 different times, and they basically have to schedule out-of-state opponents because I know most San Antonio schools refuse to put them on their schedule. They don't get a lot of local games, so they travel. Well, one of the kids transferring, Mizell Miller, said to David Flores at KENS 5, quote, "I want to play teams that are from other places like Louisiana. I know they're trying to get us more games with out-of-state teams. That's how you make connections." All right. That might be very well be true, but you're not leaving Judson and going to Cornerstone to try to get noticed by a college scout. They're already I think they have offices at Judson already. They know where to find talent.
Absolutely true. And deeper in the story, as Flores writes, and you can find the story on KENS5.com, that they were influenced, they were swayed. Both players said that Clayton Gullery, their 7-on-7 coach, told them a little bit about Cornerstone. Man, I'm a basketball guy. I've said it before, and I'll continue saying it. Welcome to the party, my friends. This is what this story has been written regarding basketball players and their AAU, their grassroots team, for 25 years. And college or high school sports in Texas, specifically football, has been so big there was no need to do any of the recruiting. You didn't need to leave if you were at a powerhouse school. Nobody needs to leave Judson to go get notoriety unless there's just somebody in front of them that they don't think they can beat out. No one needs to leave Katy. No one needs to leave South Lake Carroll. No one needs to leave Westlake or Travis. Everybody knows to go look at these schools. There's lots of talent there. And for the kid to go, well, I'd like to be seen in Louisiana. All right, man, go ahead. Sounds very much like basketball type. Go where you can play, and peace be with you, man. More power to you all, because we won't see Cornerstone play in San Antonio. They're not a coach in this city that will ever schedule them to play a public school team. And if they do, it would have to be on TV, and both teams would have to be treated like a bowl game so they can get paid and help their program, because no one in the High School Coaches Association wants to benefit Cornerstone, which is viewed as an outlaw program in the state of Texas, rightfully so, though they're doing what a lot of other schools are doing too. Go win football games across the country. Make it a program enhancer for your school. Make yourself notoriety. Give yourself notoriety across the country, because Cornerstone will bring kids from across the country. They're already doing it in basketball.
And they're doing it in football. And it's interesting. It's in the story, both players said they'll receive financial aid to attend the private school. Quote, I'm pretty sure they're going to scholarship me. That's what they're talking about. Well, of course, they're going to get scholarships to go there and help build that athletic program. And I don't know when the last time you went over to Cornerstone and seen their athletic facilities. It is fantastic. It is almost like a small college over there. And they do talk in there about the classroom setting and sizes and the education that you're going to get there. And I don't think that can be discounted, although while they'll get the education at Cornerstone, they're going there to play football.
Absolutely. But all the arguments make sense. It is smaller class size. You do get more attention. You do get more involvement with teachers if you have scholastic issues. And there's nothing negative about it. I sent my kids to private school. I understand the benefits of that. I don't think they're detrimental to football. I just think it's detrimental to high schools that are losing great talent. But, this is what it is, and it ain't going away.
And again, it's not like Central Antonian hasn't, recruited. And recruited is the word that the buzzword that nobody likes to hear. But, let's face it, the private schools are able to get talent to go there. I will say, though, and there's a photo along with the article that both Caracho and Miller are posing with Snoop Dogg after a game in California. So I'm guessing since they were little, they've been a part of some of those traveling teams. And, so they could be used to that kind of, let's go play a school from Louisiana and see what that talent is about, or Florida, or some of the other places that Cornerstone will end up drawing games from.
Go with God. Good luck to you. Go get your education. Use football. Don't let it use you. And go do what you got to do. I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Cornerstone for picking up talent. Judson's going to be fine. They got a quarterback transferred in, and they're going to keep moving on and without missing a beat. It is just part of the modern high school football era that there's so much money involved in that next level that they're starting this young as sophomores in high school, transferring and looking for opportunities. We get back. RJ Ochoa arrived. Better late than never. RJ's question of the day coming next here on the Blitz. 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and on the go at ESPNSA.com.
100% sports, 100% of the time. That's 200% sports.
Your math is blowing my mind.
San Antonio's sports leader. 1250 ESPN San Antonio and 94.5 FM. All day, every day.
Things are moving again in our community, and like so many other local businesses, Diamonds Direct is now open. We're ready to get back to our mission of helping you celebrate your love like never before. Our showrooms are clean, and we're taking all the necessary safety precautions. Our showcases are fully stocked, our values and prices are better than ever, and our team is eager to serve. And starting this Friday, we're helping in a big way with our most aggressive finance offer ever. 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down on any purchase. Yes, 60 months, zero interest on anything. All certified diamonds, all designer rings, all fashion jewelry, all earrings, pendants, bands, and bracelets. If you've had to delay that engagement or wedding or that anniversary or birthday celebration, Diamonds Direct is here to help. Starting Friday, you can spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. At Diamonds Direct, now more than ever, we know love is the most essential thing in our lives. So come see us and let us help you share that love with something she'll have forever. Diamonds Direct, open Memorial Day too. Get details, store hours, and directions at diamondsdirect.com.
What could the Spurs season look like when the NBA returns?
The Spurs sit in 12th place. That would include 9, 10, 11, and 12 playing a quick series. The winner of those two series play each other with one game. And then I guess they would have that one team in a quick series playoff against the 8-seed Grizzlies, who would then play in to the playoffs. And the playoff teams, like the Lakers, Clips, and Nuggets, they'd find a bunch of games against those teams that, quite frankly, aren't headed to the playoffs as kind of tune-ups. It makes sense.
The Blitz, weekdays 4 to 7.
It is the Blitz here on 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, on the go at ESPNSA.com. Blitz brought to you by the Thompson Law Firm. An experienced personal injury attorney is but a phone call away. Jason Thompson, his name, the number 210-900-0400. Go check out his website, alawyer4us.com. You hire him, he will be your attorney, not some TV face that farms you out to some affiliate or associate. You will get Jason Thompson as your attorney. The question of the day with RJ Ochoa is something I look forward to all day long. RJ Ochoa sitting in with us now as Jason Minix and James Pledger are also on. We've got the foursome, the fearsome foursome here of ESPN San Antonio. RJ, how's your day been, man?
It has been fantastic. It's been busy. It's been actually today was a long day. I did not like today on the Dak Prescott front. I carried a lot of water today and did not like it.
What was negative about the Dak Prescott front? We've been talking about it all day long. I want your perspective.
Well, I thought it was, what Chris Sims didn't sound kosher, didn't sound cool. And it's kind of annoying that, a lot of people just, like around the internet and stuff, they take that and it's gospel to them. And all of a sudden it's Dak wants $45 million a year. And it's like playing whack-a-mole sometimes. You got to get rid of all
How
the
did you
takes.
take the quick denial from both parties that any of that existed when we haven't heard from Prescott's agent until now?
I think the quick denial proves that they both believe that information to be damaging to both of their causes. And so
to the Cowboys' cause?
Yeah, I think that's damaging to the overall process because that makes Dak look really bad. And I think while this is a war of business, even if you're the Cowboys and you want to get him for as little as possible, you still don't want him to look that way to anybody. And that looked really bad. And if you're the Cowboys and you're leaving him out to dry like that when it's so apparently false, it makes you look bad to him, which is an important thing.
As you sit back and you can follow all of his stuff at bloggingtheboys.com. Certainly, you get your Ocho Live. When was that? I saw you with Tony Casillas, and the most recent one you had. Who was with you on your most recent podcast?
Yeah, Tony and I on Tuesday recorded with Charles Haley. So 7
Awesome.
Super Bowl rings on the show at once. It was pretty cool.
All right. Well, you've had 23 hours almost. What's your question of the day?
No bump. I mean, no.
Well, it's coming. I didn't set you up appropriately. He is actively seeking.
Well, I'm not seeking. I'm just waiting for you to be like, it's time for RJ's question.
My brain gets 99% of the way there. The song takes it the final percentage.
I went to light on that one. It is time for the overproduced intro to RJ's question of the day.
He's got questions and pontifications going through his head at all times.
What do you do? A lot of that, did you ever notice kind of stuff?
Yeah. My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
So what's on his mind today?
You completely disregard how uncomfortable unresolved issues are for me. It's like an itch in my brain I can't scratch.
RJ's question of the day.
All right.
Well,
I'm ready. I feel prepared. This one, I think, will strike a special point of love in the heart of Jason Minix. And so, Jason, I'll ask you first. This isn't the question of the day, but it is a question.
right.
The apparatus that hockey players strap to their feet to play the game is called what? You put what on your feet to play the game of hockey?
Skates.
Right. Okay. Now, what do they call the version of that on the ground, out on the concrete, out in the street? Same method of movement, but obviously a little bit different. What are those called?
Skates.
But if it's shaped identically, you know what I mean? Because when you think of skates, you got 2 wheels in the front, 2 wheels in the back. I'm talking about the one where all 4 wheels are lined up in one line. What is that called?
A blade.
Rollerblade. Right.
A rollerblade.
Rollerblade. Thank you very much. Okay. So a rollerblade implies like, okay, this is the same thing. It's a blade, but it rolls, right? Because it's got wheels. We don't call ice skates ice blades. And if anything's a blade,
actually,
it's
you're wrong.
An ice skate.
You're wrong. They are.
You're
blades.
the one who said it was called a skate.
Well, it's called a skate. That's what the apparatus is. I mean, but the blade of the skate is what you're talking about. I mean, you know, if you're a hockey player and a guy is falling onto the ice and catches his opponent across the face, which has happened, he gets cut with the blade of the skate.
I realize that it is literally called a blade, like the actual metal part of it. But again, it's referred to as a skate, right? Like, oh, those are his skates. They're not. They should be called his blades. You know what I'm saying? Because we're calling them roller blades So we're going to the extent of, the implication here is it's the same thing. It just rolls.
Because the roller blades are an offshoot of the roller skate. So you had ice skates that had a blade or roller with wheels.
But an ice skate isn't the way skates are, with like 2 blades in the front and 2 blades in the back. The names here aren't lining up for everything. The names are all over the place.
It's a car with 4 wheels or a truck with 4 wheels. What's the difference?
As is very common with words, they are derivations of foreign languages. The term ice skate is from the 1660s. It came from a Dutch word that started as this is a Dutch word.
You don't speak fluent Dutch? What, really?
And I'm going to say it as I believe it is supposed to be said. This is in no way.
Get ready for the dumb button pledge.
Yes, this is in no way reflective of modern English language. The term skate comes from the Dutch word schot, SCHAATS. Plural would be schotsen. A singular mistaken in English for the plural. It is a Dutch word that has been taken and used. So that's where we got the term skate. And I think because we called the first one skates, they couldn't call the next one skates. So they went with blades, maybe, or roller blades. I'm not sure. But I'm looking at the derivation, and it is, in fact, a Dutch word. I would have thought it was French. I don't know why.
I just don't agree with any of this, honestly, because the ice skates should be called ice blades because they mirror what a roller blade looks like in terms of the ergonomic shape. I mean, I'm fine calling roller skates, but roller blades, you know what I'm saying? We should call them ice blades, not ice skates, because ice skates would theoretically mirror roller skates, and they don't.
You know what I take out of RJ's question of the day every day?
Uh-huh.
RJ believes his way of thinking is the correct way at all times, and anything else.
I don't know
wrong.
how it took you to this point to learn that.
Yeah, I mean, because I know James Pledger is that way, and so is Rob Thompson, and as hell, Jason Minix is always right.
I can be
Jason,
wrong. I'm wrong.
I have a question that maybe only you know the answer to. The brake when you're ice skating is on the front of the blade, right?
Only on a figure skate or a casual skate. Hockey skates do not have the brake.
See,
they don't have the
this adds to the
what
difficult.
Hockey skates don't have a brake. What? I don't know what you're talking about.
That
what
makes sense though because they skate backwards so much. That makes sense.
Well, what's the brake?
Well, think about on a roller skate how they have those little brakes kind of in the front that will help you stop. On on figure skates, if you look at their blade, they've got those little teeth in the front, so you can
that's
dig
the
your
brake.
toe.
Okay, gotcha.
That's they don't have that on a hockey skate.
But so that's what I'm like. Then it doesn't mirror anything. Like there's no correct mirroring of anything. Like so you can't call something else a skate because then the implication.
But the problem with what you're thinking is that would be regressive in that there's a brand new product. So the brand new product's going to be named this. We got to go back to the product that's been around since the 1660s and change its name that we've been calling it since the Well, yeah, why? We should change the newest name.
Okay, then we can't call them rollerblades anymore. We have to call them, those would be roller skates because they mirror what they look like ice skates.
But see, roller skates are a different set of wheels, and the roller blades is one like a hockey blade, which is why it's that way.
A roller blade is just like a hockey skate, though, where it's like a line of movement, like a line of wheels versus a single line.
Are you paying attention to what you're saying? I don't think you are. I really, I don't think you're listening to yourself.
This is very easy to follow.
You almost sound like an only child arguing with yourself about something.
I want to bring something up, and this is way off this topic because I don't think we're going to figure this one out. Did you guys know that there was a NASCAR race last night? We didn't, as a sports talk radio show, we're not big into the NASCAR anyway, but Wednesday night was a big of a shock. Did you see what happened during the race where a driver gets wrecked and stands on the side of the road and just flips off the dude that hit him, and everybody happy to be seen? You know, he's out there.
Half a piece.
Have we reached a time in modern sports where that's just acceptable? I'm not for or against it. I'm really not. I think that's, if you tried to kill me, I understand it.
It happens more frequently in NASCAR. I don't think that an NFL player or an NBA player could get away with that, or a hockey player, since we're talking about ice skates and blades. But in NASCAR, that does tend to happen a little bit more often. That you know, they can only show their displeasure and anger in one way, and quite frankly, yelling F you doesn't do any good because the guy can't hear you because he's got a helmet on and those engines are loud. So they do have to resort to sign language in NASCAR. And that's why it's not necessarily acceptable, but that's why it's commonplace, I think, more in NASCAR.
I find it very odd that they are the sole sport where you're just allowed to do that. Everybody chuckles. But if any other sport, in any other place, somebody did it, they would be fined. They would be suspended. There would be turmoil and ugliness. When in NASCAR, the thing about it is he did that, and they moved on. They moved on. You know, there'll probably be a little bit more rubbing in the next race, a little bit more dents and dings. But the fact is, hey, check it out. If you're following us on our those are some big old skates.
These are hockey skates.
I understand that. Those look like rollerblades, and they're not called the same thing.
But see, there's no brake on there whatsoever.
I believe that. But see,
are those your skates?
Yeah,
they look huge.
Where do you think he got them? Like, you think he just pulled a stranger's?
Well, maybe they're autographed. Like he got him autographed by an NHL player.
These are just crappy old. When I used to work for the Iguanas, and we used to get to go play on the ice. We used to.
Well, we should do some show and tell. What else you got here?
Why would I feel like maybe this is a misconception?
And you know what?
But
this will slice your neck, man. These are still sharp.
It's a weapon.
Jason, who do you think achieves a higher velocity, like a peak figure skater or a peak hockey skater? Because I feel like you're never like in a full don't get me wrong. I know you're sprinting, but you're never just sprinting in hockey.
You know, it's interesting. Figure skaters are in incredible shape. If you've ever skated, you realize how much energy it takes. Now, a hockey player can do things on the ice that we can't do in tennis shoes. The incredible athleticism that it takes to be a hockey player. But you think about most hockey shifts are about 45 seconds because the energy that you exert during that time. Where you watch a figure skater, they're going 2 or 3 minutes. So what they're doing and the precision that it takes is pretty incredible athletically.
Okay,
so who would skate faster? Who
achieves a higher velocity?
You know, I would probably say a hockey player. If you're going from one end of the ice to another, because on a figure skater, rarely do they actually exert a whole lot of energy during the routine, except for like when they're coming up and getting ready for a jump. But even that's relatively short.
And competition, as far as, do they have like in the skills competition for the NHL, do they have like the fastest skater? Who's considered the fastest NHL skater?
Daryl Green.
Who is the Daryl Green of the NHL? I'm very curious to figure that out.
I have
probably
no
one
idea.
Probably one of my Boston Bruins.
But I would probably go with Sidney Crosby or Alex Ovechkin. One of those, probably, maybe. I don't know.
Alex who?
Ovechkin.
From the Capitals.
Ovi.
Big O.
Ovi.
Ovechkin?
Yeah, however you say it. It's Denmark. I don't know. Russian.
It is absolutely Dutch. RJ Ochoa sitting in today as he joins us for his question of the day. This one, you're going to get a good solid 6 on this one, because I think that you're aggressive thinking here. You're not going to change the original name for something that was newly invented.
The last thing on this, I know we've talked about this before, but just in case you guys have switched your mind around to the proper way of thinking, what is easier to brake on? A roller skate where the brake is at the front, or a roller blade where the brake is at the back?
I've never rollerbladed, so I don't know.
I've done both.
The toe drag seemed to work pretty well for me. The front
one is the easiest to use.
I completely disagree. I feel like I would fall forward. Yeah, I'd like that. My momentum would carry me forward.
Well, you kind of drag your leg behind you. You don't put the brake in front of you. You keep the momentum behind you. You obviously did not spend Sundays at Skateland West. You obviously did not.
You drag 1 foot behind and put.
You obviously never practiced for a jam skate. You never waited for the lights to go down for the couple skate so you could like sidle up backwards and, hey, you want to skate? You never did that?
No.
That was not a Brownsville thing. I know that skate parks are coming back until sadly the COVID thing. They had adult skate nights at a couple of the skate parks here in San Antonio. You can go and celebrate the right way. Or roll
go skate outside your house.
Dude, that's one of those things that I'll never do. You know, you reach a certain age, you go, well, that's one thing that's never going to happen again. I will never have shoes on that are actively trying to slip out from underneath my feet. That ship has sailed. So I'll get on a bike I'll tighten my shoelaces, but that's about all I can do. I want to thank everybody for hanging with us on the Blitz. The Friday edition is going to be better. We'll see you tomorrow.
What does Andy Dalton mean for the future of Dak Prescott?
I think it was a pipe dream to think that Andy Dalton would come to Dallas to be a backup, but for him to sign with Dallas for 1 year, $3 million, I was stunned. And I think it's ludicrous